Just outside the city limits of Richmond, Virginia, you'll find a patch of real estate that has changed greatly in the past 46 years, but continues to produce the best racing action anywhere.
Gentlemen, start your engine. Nothing have to win. Can we always be? Stay forever, running wild and free. They call it Richmond International Raceway. This smooth, wide, three-quarter-mile D-shaped oval is best known by drivers and fans as the action track. Anything can happen here, and in a year filled with surprises, it wouldn't be unusual to see a new young face in victory lane here tonight. Even the veterans know this place, though, demands respect. These calm turns can get crowded in a hurry. We've seen it happen time and again. First the temptation, then comes the tap, and then the tempers. Take a long taste of the sunshine. Can we always be? Never stop moving at the speed of light. And try to hold on high at the speed of light. Never stop and
When we ended this race a year ago, Terry Labonte was in victory lane, but tonight he starts 32nd at a track where 82% of the winners have come from inside the top 10. That's where you'll find the Chevys of Wallace and Skinner, the Pontiacs of Petty, Andretti, and Labonte, and the Fords of Rusty and Rudd. But watch Mark Martin. At 12:30 this morning, he was already in victory lane. He starts 12th in a race where a lot of people think the number 6 will be number 1 when the lights go out.
all around us now. Lights are flashing. Don't let them burn out. Lying on the beach. Nothing else matters. It's just you and me.
Jeff Burton has rocketed his way into the NASCAR Winston Cup points lead, giving defending champion Jeff Gordon and the other competitors all they can handle. Burton has won twice this year. He's also finished in the top 5 7 times in the first 10 races. He won here last fall, barely beating Gordon, who despite 3 uncharacteristic DNFs this year, has slowly worked his way back into contention. And tonight, he starts from the pole position with a new track qualifying record. Fast, but not quite as fast as the speed of light.
Nearly 100,000 fans have gathered here at Twilight, again producing the largest sporting event in the Commonwealth. It's the Pontiac Excitement 400. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, and the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, NASCAR, welcome you live for the Pontiac Excitement 400 NASCAR Winston Cup race. There have been 10 races so far, and Jeff Burton is hanging on to a 55-point edge over Dale Jarrett. After the most recent race in California, 7 of the top 10 positions in the points changed. Hi, everyone. I'm Bob Jenkins with Benny Parsons and Ned Jarrett. This has been a very strange weekend. Bad weather yesterday, a little bit of practice, but today we have had practice, qualifying, happy hour, and now we're getting ready to race.
The most important word you said, Bob, today. Nothing has happened at night, and the race will go on into the night. All these cars have been set up during the daylight, during sunshine. When it gets dark, Ned, they're going to have some problems.
Yes, they are, because the temperature was in the low 70s this afternoon when they had their final practice. The schedule or the forecast is for it to get down in the low 50s by the time this race ends tonight. Makes a world of difference in how that car drives around this racetrack. Most of them will have built some adjustability into the race cars, and I think they're going to need it.
43 cars and drivers are set to go, and let's get this show on the road.
And now for the most dramatic words in the world of professional sports, here is our Grand Marshal, Mr. Richard Wagner.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
racing for 400 laps around this 3/4 mile racetrack as the NASCAR Winston Cup Series presents its 11th event of 1999, the Pontiac Excitement 400. We'll review the starting lineup and get the green flag in just a moment.
You know, my first racing days were pretty rough. With my wheels set so close together, I was always getting loose in the turns. Now that I'm trading paint with the big boys, wider is better.
The White Track Grand Prix delivers precise control of the corners. No wonder it's been selected official pace car of NASCAR.
There's no getting around it. Wider.
Wider is better. Now you can take that to the bank with this winning offer on the White Track Grand Prix. See your local Pontiac dealer for details.
Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires. Now at Pep Boys, all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for only $99, and all 70,000-mile tires 4 for $169. Pep Boys, cars like us, people love us.
This summer, if you can dream it up, Sonic can put it in a cup. We've got hundreds of drink flavors you can mix and match. Plus, our 44-ounce Route 44 big drinks. Enough choices to let your dreams run wild.
Sonic America's driving. Well, I live out here on a little old farm. I got a pickup, 2 tractors, a mower, and a little old boat. Everstart battery in every one of them. One in that old pickup's been in there over 4 years. Starts right up every morning.
Everstart. All the cold cranking power you'll ever need.
No matter if it's 100 degrees or 0 outside. Starts every time.
Everstart. The name says it all.
Everything I got come from Walmart, except my wife and the milk cow. And if they had a place, I'd put a battery on them.
You change your oil every 3,000 miles, right? No, do you? You push it. Now you're so busy you try to squeeze another 1,000 miles out of your oil. Or more. Well, squeeze this. Just to do it yourself when you have the time. Reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Anybody say insurance? It's been tested. And unlike that lazy uncle nobody really likes to talk about, it works. So go get some. Quaker State. Sensible technology. What more do you need to know?
ESPN's live coverage of the Pontiac Excitement 400 from Richmond International Raceway being brought to you by the White Track Grand Prix by Pontiac. Wider is better. By Pep Boys, cars like us, people love us. And by Quaker State for protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Part of the 90-plus thousand fans that have gathered here for this event tonight. Let's check out tonight's field. We'll have 20 Fords, 15 Chevys, and 8 Pontiacs. Right now, Ford has a slight edge in the manufacturer's battle. Now let's take a look at the Everstart Walmart grid for tonight's event. It's his 200th NASCAR Winston Cup start, and he has the 26th pole of his career. Jeff Gordon, Kenny Wallace has his best start of 99. Kenny Irwin, the pole winner at Texas, starts 3rd, and Kyle Petty has his best start of 1999. Back in the 3rd row, it's John Andretti, the Martinsville winner, and Rusty Wallace, the Bristol winner, who also has an incredible record here at Richmond. Mike Skinner starts inside row number 4, along with Bobby Labonte. To take a look at the rest of the starting grid, we talked about how these cars will tighten up as the evening progresses, as the track gets cooler. What are some of the things that they are looking at to make the car looser under those conditions?
Well, in the springs, they will insert a wedge in those springs to strengthen those springs. And by pulling those wedges out, you can loosen the car, make the car handle a little bit better under those conditions.
And, of course, they can always change air pressures. That has a major effect now on the handling qualities of the race car. They can make adjustments on the springs as well as the sway bar.
Michael Waltrip had problems during qualifying. He brushed the wall on his 2nd lap of qualifying and damaged the rear end of the car. And so he is going to have to go to a backup car and will start at the very tail end of the field. Some of these drivers back here we see not pulling off a very good qualifying effort this afternoon. Tony Stewart's back there, so is Terry Labonte and Jimmy Spencer, who has run very well here at Richmond.
And in the happy hour this afternoon, many of those drivers were very good up towards the top of the speed chart, so we look for them to come up through the field.
Here are your provisional starters now, including Dale Earnhardt, Wally Dallenbach, Kevin LePage, Ed Musgrave, Rich Bickle, and rounding out the 43-car field is David Green. Three drivers, unfortunately, did not make the show here tonight. Dave Marcus, Hud Strickland in the 90 car, and Buckshot Jones in the 00. One lap till green.
Wally Dallenbach will be carrying the Budweiser onboard camera this afternoon. He will be starting back in 39th position. There we see him at the back bumper. Also, several onboard cameras. Derek Cope has a Jimmy Dean onboard camera starting in 36th position. Starting back in 21st position, Dale Jarrett, the Ford Quality Care, Ford Credit. McDonald's onboard camera with Bill Elliott starting in 19th. Elliott Sadler, the Citgo onboard camera in 18th position. Mark Martin of Valvoline Ford starts in 12th position. And everybody's favorite here tonight, Jeff Burton, the Coca-Cola car, starting in 10th. Bobby Labonte, Rusty Wallace, also onboard cameras as the cars come down for the green.
And the green flag flies. We're underway at Richmond International Raceway in the Pontiac Excitement 400. Lap here at Richmond. Kenny Irwin with a good battle with Kenny Wallace down the backstretch, but Irwin crosses the line in second position. Kenny falls back to third. Rusty Wallace running fourth. Side-by-side action back here is John Andretti and Kyle Petty are side-by-side. The two Richard Petty cars.
You know, we thought it might take a while for the second groove to come in, but we have a lot of cars back through the field that are still running side-by-side and doing it very effectively from the high side.
Here's Jeff Burton right behind these guys. Coca-Cola onboard camera, the NASCAR Winston Cup points leader, as he is choosing that outside line, trying to get by Mike Skinner.
Well, we did have the last of the modified race and the Busch race last night, in addition to all of the practice that we've had for the Winston Cup cars here today. So that second groove up high is definitely in already.
And of course, they put a sealer on this racetrack before they came here, and that's one reason we thought it might take a while for that second groove to come in. But boy, drivers are running out there and doing it very effectively.
John Andretti and Rusty Wallace battle side by side for the fourth spot down the backstretch.
And Rusty takes over. I started to say he took that spot away. Rusty Wallace started sixth right now, trying to take over fourth. Can't do it. He'll fall back to fifth. And here comes that battle for sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and on back.
Bobby Labonte, Mike Skinner, Jeff Burton, Ricky Rudd, Mark Martin, all battling for the same piece of real estate. On board with Martin.
And here we go, three abreast back in the pack.
Some good racing going on in the middle of the pack, but up front it's pretty much side by side. John Andretti has moved up to fourth and now sets his sights on the position occupied by Kenny Wallace, third.
Gets a nose alongside, coming off turn 4, going into turn 1. He'll take the position.
And now Rusty Wallace comes up on his brother.
This is the Miller Lite onboard cameras. He watches this.
And from high above the speedway, looking down on third on back. This is the Pennzoil Copter Cam with the aerial shots in tonight's race. Sun just beginning to go down beyond the grandstands.
You'll see Bobby Labonte in the 18 car finally has got underneath Kyle Petty. He's been trying to pass him on the outside since the get-go. Not able to do it. Finally gets on the inside and looks like he will be able to pull that pass off.
Kyle stays up high as Jeff Burton now comes to the inside. Jeff Gordon enjoys the lead right now by just a few car lengths over Kenny Irwin. John Andretti has moved into third spot, followed by Kenny Wallace and Rusty Wallace. Those are the top five. We are just 9 laps into the 400 lap Pontiac Excitement 400. We'll be back in just a moment.
And here's one for all you NASCAR fans from Country 108 WGTY, NASCAR's new country home.
Yeah, we're dedicated NASCAR fans. We make every single race
father's favorite joke about our expansion project is that he's going to build it and I'm going to pay for it. While this is said in jest, there is truth behind it. My future depends on my dealings with you, our friends, customers, and neighbors. You are valuable to us, and we respect your needs and desires. That's why this new construction project includes 30 service bays, 2 of which are specially designed for quick service, lube, oil, filter, and 16-point checkup to be done at any time with no appointment necessary.
I'm to inform you that ESPN Classic has been taken over. That's right. May 22nd, ESPN Classic is being run by Billy Crystal, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Spike Lee.
I'm ready.
To see it, call your cable company today.
Okay.
They're calling the shots and picking the shows all day, May 22nd. To see it, you've got to get ESPN Classic. What do you got to do?
Something here comes again.
For the best classic sports, call your cable company or satellite provider today.
They say that when the going gets tough, the tough get going. They say that a lot about the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Because racing just doesn't get any tougher than this. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. This is NASCAR.
Welcome back to Richmond International Raceway, actually located outside the city limits of Richmond in Henrico County, Virginia. A beautiful facility. 3/4-mile racetrack that has been dirt, then it was a half-mile paved track, and now a 3/4-mile paved track. Always good competition here at Richmond. John Andretti has asserted himself early, taking second spot from Kenny Irwin, and now it's Gordon and Andretti first and second.
Yeah, Andretti was more than a second behind Gordon and Irwin, and in about 5 laps. I mean, he caught them in a hurry, and here's how he made the pass.
Goes down in turn 1, gets on the inside of Kenny Irwin and just drove right by. And the last time by was 1 mile per hour, well, about a ½ mile per hour faster than the leader, Jeff Gordon.
Kenny Wallace, meanwhile, has dropped back a little bit. He's being passed there by Mark Martin, and now Andretti goes for the lead in turn 3. Gordon tries to stave off the challenge on the outside, but John Andretti is going to go to the front. Jerry Punch.
I asked Robbie Loomis, John Andretti's crew chief, are you concerned about the pace he's setting early, worried about that right front or right rear tire? He said, no, our deal was, our plan was to go hard in the first 40 to 45, 50 laps, get up front, get us 5 bonus points, and then settle down if we needed to and run our pace. Right now, he's gotten his 5 bonus points.
Meanwhile, we've got a couple of Hoosiers battling here for second position. Kenny Irwin from Indianapolis, Jeff Gordon from Pittsboro, Indiana. John Andretti, of course, also from Indianapolis.
Well, it makes you proud, doesn't it, Bob?
Nice to say that.
Yes.
Once in a while.
Now here's Jeff Burton trying to get on the inside of Rusty Wallace.
And Burton is another driver that's been making his way up through the front, or to the front. Started back there in, 10th position. Now working on 5th.
And, of course, the Burton brothers are hometown favorites from South Boston, Virginia. Trying to get to the inside of Rusty Wallace is Jeff.
Mark Martin there.
Yep. Looking on. 5th, 6th, and 7th.
All of these cars were very good in happy hour, and they're always very good here at the Richmond International Raceway.
Mark Martin's Valvoline onboard camera as he watches this from inside the car. You see Rusty getting that good grip on the top, and Jeff Burton handling very well on the inside.
Good battle here between the 18 of Bobby Labonte and the 22 of Kenny, 28 of Kenny Irwin, and Bobby Labonte is trying to take third away. I believe he's going to do it. He did down the backstretch.
Boy, those Pontiacs are looking strong here tonight. This is the Pontiac Excitement 400. They're trying to make it that way. Andretti out front. Now Bobby Labonte coming to the front.
And Jeff Burton made the move on Rusty Wallace. It looked like Rusty slipped a little bit off turn 4, which allowed Mark Martin to get by. And here comes Kyle Petty trying to get back in front of Rusty Wallace. Rusty passed him a few laps ago. Kyle now wants to return the favor.
Another Hoosier, Tony Stewart, the rookie candidate, is in a big group of cars trying to work himself up to the front, but having a bit of a struggle here. Tony is back in, what, about 32nd position.
Yeah, he started 30th, so he's dropped a couple of positions, and it's just hard to get through those cars and make much time because, you know, they're all running about the same speed, and it's very difficult for him to make passes.
Well, that car to the inside now in front of him is a little bit different look for Kevin LePage. That car has been painted red and white to reflect their TV Guide sponsorship and the co-sponsorship on the car, Prime Star.
It's Dale Earnhardt back there, and you will see Bobby Labonte on the inside of Jeff Gordon takes second spot away.
Labonte started 8th, moved up to second spot. Jeff Burton and Mark Martin battling for 5th. As Kyle Petty sees Rusty go to the second lane, and Kyle trying to get inside but cannot.
Kyle is going to the inside. Rusty's moved up the racetrack, trying to get a grip. While we watch all this, I'll tell you that Mark Martin has passed Jeff Burton.
There's just so many passes being made all over the racetrack. A lot of cars moving towards the front. And of course, when one moves to the front, that moves somebody up back a little bit.
That's right.
You see Rusty Wallace once again moving up the racetrack. So right now, Rusty Wallace fighting an ill-handling race car, trying to use the racetrack and the sealer to make up some deficiencies in his car.
6 victories at this racetrack for Rusty Wallace.
And Mark Martin drives by on the outside of Kenny Irwin.
Well, Kenny's car looks so strong those first few laps, but the handle has gone away here pretty quickly as the sun continues to go down, and the track will start cooling off even more.
Jeff Burton takes 5th away from Irwin.
It could be, Ned, that Kenny Irwin and Rusty Wallace are figuring on the sun going down and helping fix their race cars. Maybe they're a little bit too loose right now, but it's part of a plan because of starting the race during the day.
Could very well be.
Irwin made his debut in Winston Cup competition here at Richmond International Raceway. Started 2nd in September of '97 and finished in 8th. Mike Skinner's making an early pit stop.
Yeah, he had run up there pretty good in the top 10, and then all of a sudden he started going backwards, so I don't know what the problem is with the low Chevrolet, but it's an unscheduled pit stop. Let's go to the pits and Jerry.
And they will make a right side tire change on the low Chevrolet for Mike Skinner. Early pit stop. He will not be pitting until about lap 120. Obviously a vibration on board the car number 31. As he comes down pit road, the field goes by, left side tires are on, and he is down the lane. Very frustrated Mike Skinner leaves pit road.
And as he pulls out, here comes John Andretti, the leader, and he will put him a lap down.
2 laps
Two
down.
laps down now.
But now Skinner has those fresh tires. We'll see now what kind of an advantage that new tires would be, because right behind the leader is Skinner with those tires.
So Mike Skinner with an early pit stop, 2 laps down, as John Andretti leads the Pontiac Excitement 400 over Bobby Labonte, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, and Jeff Burton.
It is more than sport. It is spirit. Ritual.
everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. I travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
Citgo, you know me.
With Turf Builder Plus 2, it's so easy. In late spring, I put it in my spreader. A couple days later, the weeds are looking thick and the lawn's looking green. They say the best weed control you can have is to have a healthy lawn. With Scott's Turf Builder Plus 2, it's so easy.
Ready to spend a weekend with Rusty Wallace?
Hey, Rusty, you pop the trunk? It's gonna be a long weekend.
If your game piece matches this one, Energizer is sending you to the races with Rusty.
The Boyd house is for sale.
Oh, hey, did you hear the Boyds are selling their house?
Yeah, it's a 2,400 square foot colonial revival, 2.5 baths, poured concrete foundations. Now,
Oil-fired hot water heater.
30 gallon?
50.
Aren't you having surgery on Saturday?
No, I canceled that. The Boyds open house on Saturday.
Oh, right.
The Boyds installed parquet floors.
what do you say? Parquet floors.
One line only.
Getting the word out about selling your house for like this, you wouldn't need Century 21. Real estate for the real world. Learn more about our customized marketing system at century21.com.
The caution is out for the first time here in the Pontiac Excitement 400. Couple of spins, Robert Presley and Jeffrey Bodine. That means that the pits become extremely busy as they come in to get some tires. First out is going to be Ward Burton, looks like.
And there's a tire right in the middle of pit road, and Kenny Irwin has stalled his vehicle and cannot go. Is the tire off the car? He finally gets the car restarted, lost several positions. Looks like he was minus a wheel there for a second.
That tire is still sitting on the outside of pit road over next to the wall, not anyone's way now. And there's part of a tire on the backstretch.
That's the recap or the tread off the tire. I think that's off Jeffrey Bodine's right front.
Well, down in turns number 1 and 2 is where the original problem was.
The blue car on the outside is Robert Presley. On the inside of 16, LePage, and I can't tell if there's contact. I guess there's a slight bump between LePage and Presley. Presley goes around, makes some contact with the outside retaining wall, and how Jeffrey Bodine managed to cut down the right front tire, I'm not exactly sure.
You look up ahead out of here, out of the windshield of Wally Dallenbach, as he gets slowed down, and you see the accident already happened. He gets down the inside of the racetrack and everything okay.
And some damage to Robert Presley's car as he once again has made a pit stop and rolls out. And Jeffrey Bodine also in for another time.
Yeah, he might have run over something and cut his right front because I think he got into the wall up between turns 3 and 4. And, of course, this happened coming off of turn 2 or going into turn 1 with Robert Presley.
We see some damage to the right front. Like that's where he cut the tire down. How exactly who he hit to do that, I'm not sure.
Jerry Punch, how do the pit stops go in your area?
Well, down toward turn 1, John Andretti, no change whatsoever. 4 tires, they filled it up with fuel. John says don't touch it. That's the same race car. He sped from 21st qualifying spot to dominate the last few laps and win at Martinsville. The 28 car behind me, Kenny Irwin, they made a 4-tire change, an air pressure change in 3 of the 4 tires. He was loose all the way through the corner. They're trying to tighten him up. Let's go to Bill.
Bobby Labonte is loose in, loose off, good in the center of the turns. They opted not to make any changes because they believe the track and the car will come to Bobby. Meanwhile, here in Jeff Burton's pit, they wanted to see the tire wear, made no adjustments on the car, so they're happy through the first 45 laps. To John Kernan.
This is the right front tire off of Michael Waltrip's car. Remember, he pitted just a couple of laps before this caution. Check this out. The tread completely coming off. You can see right there in the cords. Talked to the Goodyear officials that are not exactly sure what caused the problem. I talked to Michael's crew chief, Bobby Kennedy. He said, no, we're not running too much negative camber. They're not sure what happened. Let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch.
And that was exactly the same thing that caused Mike Skinner's unscheduled pit stop about 15 laps ago. Right front tire, the inside shoulder of the right front tire had about a 7-inch section of rubber completely peeled away. The temperature just over 207 degrees. We're back to green.
Green out again as Ward Burton is leading here at Richmond for the first time in his career. Now Skinner got one lap back and is trying to get the other one back.
And I think he's got a good chance. I believe that Ward Burton only took on 2 tires to get the lead here, and that'll give Mike Skinner a good chance. He is now out in front of him, and that will put him on the lead lap if he can get your caution here now. As a matter of fact, one of our reporters during NASCAR today told Ward Burton that he had never led a lap at Richmond. He said, I didn't know that. I got to do something about that tonight. And he did by changing 2 tires. Fixed that in a hurry. He did. It'll be interesting to see how that'll work for him here now. Right now, he's doing okay. Mike Skinner, of course, got by him. Mark Martin sitting there on his back bumper. Mark wants to lead a lap so he can get 5 bonus points.
Good short track racing. Jeff Gordon and Bobby Labonte running side by side along with Jeff Burton.
That was Jeff Burton was looking out the back bumper, the X-side forward as he looks back at Jeff Gordon and Bobby Labonte. It's a battle for the 3rd position.
We'll look at them 3 wide back there, not too far back in the pack as John Andretti gets on the inside of Michael Waltrip. Dale Jarrett was on the outside.
And now battle for the lead as Mark Martin is on the inside of Ward Burton. Cannot quite pull it off. Ward still hangs on.
Like Mark slipped a little bit coming out of the 2nd corner.
He did. The traction broke traction just a little bit. Just enough to let Ward continue with the lead.
So Mark will have to mount another challenge here. Meanwhile, Jeff Burton is the one who is trying to pick up a spot.
And Bob, there are 2 cars up here in this front pack. The yellow car down on the inside, we saw him there for just a moment. Steve Park, there he comes into the picture. And Dale Jarrett, those 2 cars were the fastest on the racetrack before that caution came out. They were coming towards the front. Park had already gotten the top 10. Jarrett was up beside of Ricky Rudd to take over 10th when the caution came out. So those are a couple of cars, and they had good pit stops, picked up a couple of positions, so keep an eye on them.
Jarrett running back in 9th at the moment. Up front, it's still Ward Burton and Mark Martin, 1st and 2nd. By the way, also leading under caution that we just came off of, Darrell Waltrip, credited with leading 1 lap. So 4 have led so far. John Andretti the most, 24 laps. Gordon led 18, then Ward Burton and Waltrip. And now another battle up front.
And he's trying it on the outside this time. Mark Martin trying it on the outside. He couldn't get by the inside on Ward Burton. Let's see. And Mark Martin, according to my calculations, led that lap as he came across the start-finish line.
By just a little bit. Napa Field Summary will show you where the best Fords and Chevys and Pontiacs are running.
And Mark Martin finally takes the lead. Here comes Jeff Burton. They're all lining up on the outside. Looks like Ward Burton, you're easy. Let's try it on the outside. Rusty Wallace back there trying to get on the outside of the 18 of Labonte as he goes by, or he's trying to go by Ward Burton on the outside as Jeff Gordon is able to do it.
Now the battle is for 4th, Bobby Labonte and Ward Burton.
Yeah, Ward just, he's caught down on that inside. Couldn't get back up in line there. But he realizes those cars are faster than he is.
And look at Jeff Burton.
Goes for the lead, and he's going to get it.
And now Gordon wants to take 2nd from Mark.
Something 3 or 4 ever see him backing in the fence up there.
2nd caution of the afternoon comes out, of the evening, I should say, as Ernie Irvin's car up against the wall. Now he gets it refired.
Good break here for Mike Skinner, even though he had pulled away. And Ernie's going to stay on the lead lap, it looks like. Mike Skinner comes back to the start-finish line, so he now will be caught back up to the field on the lead lap.
Yep, he was 2 laps down about, 10 laps ago, and now is back on the lead lap.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, what's happened to Ernie Irvin this year in 1999 shouldn't happen to a dog. He has had the worst luck, I think, of anybody on the circuit. Here he is just trying to make a pass on the inside of the 40 car. And there we see he goes up, just gets a little bit loose on these other guys. I don't think there was any contact at all, and barely backs it in the fence. Tough break in 1990. About every race for Ernie in 1999.
He has fallen from 8th to 27th in the point standings in the last 6 races. And more bad news tonight for Ernie Irvin as he brings out the 2nd caution of the evening at the end of 57 laps in the Pontiac Excitement 400.
Hey, man,
she's here.
Check it out. That's something. There they are.
Pick one.
Which one? You like this one? Easy then. Easy. How about this little guy? Huh?
Yeah. Good choice.
You have your weekend projects. We have ours.
It knows two speeds. Stop and go. It just beat a series of the toughest stop-and-go driving tests in the world, and it's brand new. Go ahead. Guess. You have 4.3 seconds. Introducing Pennzoil with new Pure Base. Stop. Go. Pennzoil.
Some things are obvious from the start. Like, things turn out better when you work together. That's why the UAW International Union and General Motors Corporation got together to create programs to improve skills and safety, to educate, to promote teamwork and build better quality cars and trucks. Assembly line to finish line. Teamwork wins.
Just as you rejoin us, the pace car swings off the racetrack and into the pits as the green flag comes out to resume this Pontiac Excitement 400. Green coming out on lap number 62. Jeff Burton is your leader, followed by Mark Martin. Now, Ernie Irvin, who brought out this most recent caution, stayed on the lead lap. And, of course, we told you that Mike Skinner has now gotten both of his laps back. So two cars are not on the lead lap. They are Robert Presley and Michael Waltrip.
Michael Waltrip had made an unscheduled green flag pit stop.
And that second car behind Jeff Burton is Robert Presley. You saw the damaged automobile, the Jasper engine car. Right now, he's trying to chase down Burton, pass him, and get one of his laps back. Right now, 2 laps down.
It doesn't look like that damage that he had done is hurting him that much, as we see the battles back in the pack here, not too far back in the pack. That's 4th, 5th, 6th.
On board with Rusty as he looks up ahead to Bobby Labonte, who's in 4th spot, and the lap car of Michael Waltrip. Michael's problems began when he crashed on his second lap of qualifying and had to go to a backup car.
He just hasn't had time to get this car in shape for this 400 laps of the Pontiac Excitement 400. We saw the right front tire just a moment ago that peeled the cap off of it.
Andretti, who is now 7th. One of the early leaders in the race.
They had talked about Steve Park, the Pennzoil car, earlier, but this might be his best run of his NASCAR Winston Cup career.
Meanwhile, where is Dale Earnhardt, who took a provisional, started around 37th, and he's up into the top 20 already.
Seen that a time or two before here at Richmond and at other racetracks.
No big surprise, really. Started 37th. By the 12th lap, he was up to 35th and made the jump there into 19th. John Kernan has more.
His crew chief, Kevin Hamlin, told me they had a brake balance problem during practice and qualifying and also happy hour. So after happy hour, they
changed all the brake calipers, the whole system, just to try and fix the brake balance problem, and apparently they did a pretty good job at it.
And there goes Steve Park on the inside of Rusty Wallace. That's for the 5th position. He starts to say takes it away, but Rusty getting that good grip off the outside, fights back.
And of course, that one car is owned by Dale and Teresa Earnhardt. Meanwhile, up front, as Mark Martin leads, he's being challenged by both Jeff Burton and Jeff Gordon.
And the 77 car, Robert Presley, there he goes by, and he's back on the tail end, just one lap down.
And the sun is just about to set on the Commonwealth of Virginia. What a beautiful place to come to and watch a race. And now the lights will, of course, begin to light up this racetrack.
Rusty Wallace and Steve Park still run side by side for the 5th position. The 1 car and the 2 car, and Steve says, hey, mine's 1. It's supposed to be in front of 2. But Rusty has other ideas.
We talk about a 2-groove racetrack. That time the leader, Mark Martin, ran 191.9 miles per hour. Steve Park, side by side with Rusty Wallace, ran 121.3 miles per hour. So you can see that you can run very fast about any groove around this Richmond International Raceway.
Steve Park has only run 1 race here at Richmond. That was last fall. He started 40th and finished 27th.
And has a new crew chief this week, by the way, Steve Meal, who used to be Mark Martin's crew chief, calling the shots on the 1 car now. Felipe Lopez resigned last Monday, I guess it was.
We talked about Mike Skinner getting back on the lead lap. He came in, made a pit stop during that last caution, was last in the field, and now he has picked up about 10 positions up to 30th position.
Oh, that time Steve Park drove her down in the corner. He kind of leaned on Rusty, or went up the racetrack, actually didn't make contact with him, and said, I want that spot.
And he got it. He moves up to 5th.
And right here we see Ward Burton on the outside of Kyle Petty. Michael Waltrip, the 7 car, the lap car in front of that. And there's 2 by 2 all back through there.
And the 4 car's got some damage there on the left rear.
Bumping contest out there with somebody. I don't think that it'll hurt the running of the race car, but you can see there that there is a piece of that plastic bumper hanging down.
We see that Kyle Petty has moved around Ward Burton, and that moves Ward out of the top 10, and he was a leader not too long ago.
Tell you what, when they see a deal like this and they don't wreck, they miss an awfully good chance, I'll tell you that.
Look there, they're trying to go 3 wide.
Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon being challenged by Bobby Labonte for 3rd position. It's like and 3 wide as Earnhardt, Benson, and Schrader now file down into 2 abreast. And the battle for 3rd continues.
Mark Martin about to put Robert Presley down that 2nd lap again. Robert had gotten 1 of them back, but now Mark Martin trying to put him down 2 again.
Meanwhile, the Interstate Batteries Pontiac of Bobby Labonte. This is the Circuit City onboard cameras. He tries his best to get by Jeff Gordon. This battle is only 3/4 of a second behind the leader. They gained ground that time, side by side, as Martin is trying to get by the 77.
We have 2 good fast crews here already.
And look at Steve Park.
Yeah, he's coming up there to challenge for that 3rd position.
Steve Park is having an absolute run of his life here tonight at Richmond.
His best career finish, and he's finished 11th twice, most recently in Dover of September of last year, but right now he is up to 5th and battling amongst the big boys.
He was on the outside of Bobby Labonte.
Here's the AutoZone on-track interval report. 1.7
there, still inside.
Reduced to a half second.
All clear.
Half second.
That was Ty Norris, the spotter for Steve Park.
Clear both sides, all clear.
And you're cleared. Go ahead. Press the one on the right. Let's go to the front.
Very consistent laps there by Park, varying only 0.2 of a second. Oh, look out.
Little contact between Park and Jeff Gordon, and Jeff is losing spots. There goes 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 spots.
Moves him back to 8th position.
He'll just gather himself back in now. We watch this battle back in the pack.
Look at the traffic. Earnhardt is amongst this mess.
I'm telling you, they're trying their best to wreck.
Exciting back in the pack. Everywhere.
I thought they had there for a minute, Bob, when I said that.
Well,
yeah, he's running Earnhardt about 9 7/10 seconds behind Mark Martin. Mark Martin still hasn't been able to pass Robert Presley. So
Pennzoil-Copter Cam with these overhead shots. The 98 car, the blue and white one there, that is Rick Mast, but it's showing a different paint scheme this weekend. And that reflects a new sponsor on the car that we'll tell you about in a moment after we watch this as Steve Park now tries to go to 3rd.
Gets that good run off the corner. Does he have momentum enough to take that spot away? Tell him clear. Come on, boys, say clear. No, not quite. He didn't want to clear him when he wasn't sure, and that's really the way they should do it.
Still there a little bit. Still there.
Rusty drives up in there now. Hey, which one of these do I need to follow?
Still there. Just a little bit. Still there. Clear now. Clear. All clear.
Steve Park runs 3rd.
Mark Martin has now passed Robert Presley. Robert's 2 laps down now.
And only about a car length separating now 1st and 2nd. Mark Martin is your leader, followed by Jeff Burton. Steve Park moves to 3rd. Bobby Labonte and Rusty Wallace complete the top 5. The second 5, John Andretti, Dale Jarrett, Jeff Gordon, Ricky Rudd, and Kyle Petty.
All-Star Racing Team Collectors Cup, featuring all 7 members of the Hardee's Racing Team.
Martin's coming in for an unscheduled pit stop.
It holds 44 ounces of your favorite beverage, even if you can't. Get your Collectors Cup now at Hardee's, a proud sponsor of the Roush Racing family.
They're some of our favorite people. The millions of AutoZone customers who change their own oil. They're the kind of folks who believe that taking care of their car and saving money go hand in hand. And while we admire their willingness to tackle a dirty job, most of all, we thank them for bringing their used oil back to us. After all, used motor oil should be recycled, and that's one job we simply can't do alone.
We're here with grades 3, 4, and 5 to help you remember 10-10, 3, 4, 5 long distance, where calls are always 10 cents a minute. So what's that number?
10-10, 3, 4, 5.
Excellent.
Dial 10-10-345 today.
In the battle against athlete's foot, you gotta have boom, tough actin Tenactin. Now in a new pump spray. Nothing stops the itching, burning, and cracking like clinically proven Tenactin antifungals. They're so tough, they can even prevent athlete's foot. Get boom, tough actin Tenactin.
Hi, I'm Jeff Burton with an exciting message for NASCAR fans. Buy any Excite NASCAR Select product and get a Motorola pager free. It's a great way to enter the Excite NASCAR Select 99 sweepstakes. Every month, you'll be paged with another chance to win cool prizes. You could even win $50,000 and be an honorary member of the Excite Racing Team pit crew for the first race of the next century. Look for details wherever Excite NASCAR Select is sold.
Holy, man, I gotta find a phone.
Guys, I'm coming in.
What is it, Mike? Is it too loose?
No, it's my kitchen. I want to remodel, but I don't know where to start.
What? Okay, here's what you do.
When it comes to home improvement, there's no better team to work with than Team Lowe's. Lowe's, proud sponsor of Winston Cup team number 31 and his World Championship pit crew.
Hey, Larry, let me talk to that kitchen guy again.
It's for you.
The faces behind the drivers. Ray Evernham. Robert Yates, and the king, Richard Petty. Quite a bit of concern on the faces simply because they did not have a great deal of practice time. Jeff Gordon is on pit road with an unscheduled stop. Remember, he lost several positions, and now he comes in, Jerry.
He commented 2 laps to go, Bob, that he thought he had a vibration. Suddenly the vibration got worse and worse. He said, that time by, guys, I got to come in. I'm coming in. The steering wheel just bouncing out of my hands. He has come down pit road now and will change all 4 tires. Right side tires are on. I look at the right rear. It comes across. Looks to be okay. The right front looks to be okay. He is down and away after an unscheduled stop.
Only 16.8 seconds for the pit stop, but it's enough to put him a lap down. A very costly, unscheduled pit stop for Jeff Gordon. And he comes out just ahead of the leader, and so he could go 2 laps down here, although the fresher tires, and if he has solved the vibration problem, could keep him.
Should be able to. After a couple of laps on those new tires, the air pressure gets built up. He should be able to pull away from them. Because they lose about 4 tenths to sometimes a half a second a lap on new tires, on the tires after they run real hard.
We see right now Jeff Burton, the Exide battery Ford, is closing in right on the back bumper of his teammate Mark Martin, the Valvoline Ford, and is closing, getting closer and closer to Martin.
This is looking back from the leader, Mark Martin, to Jeff Burton. And Jeff Burton takes the lead. Looks like that Mark just let him go. Oh, and the 28 car is slowing on the back stretch. He'll be making an unscheduled pit stop.
Definitely. The leaders are going to be coming up on some heavy, heavy traffic here in just a few laps. Jeff Gordon has already called them. And you can see there what they're coming up on.
Here is Irwin making his way slowly down pit road. He's pitted down toward pit out. Finally arrives, and the Madeline crew are going to raise the hood.
That's not a very good sign.
Kenny has never finished outside the top 10 in a NASCAR Winston Cup race here at Richmond. Jerry is down in Jeff Gordon's pit. Jerry, can you assess what happened?
Bob, take a look. It won't be hard to figure it out. This is the right front tire that came off Gordon's car. Take a look. The entire part of the car tread has come apart. Big flaps of tread here just being sheared away. That's why the car was vibrating. He probably wouldn't have made another 2 laps. He would have come completely apart, and he would have been in the wall. He had to pit. The second tire I've seen down here, both right front. This one off Gordon, the other one off Mike Skinner.
So a costly pit stop, but not nearly as costly as it might have been. Meanwhile, Jeff is trying to work his way through the traffic and separate himself from Burton and Mark Martin, who are running first and second and stay just 1 lap down. It is Burton and Martin leading with Bobby Labonte, Steve Park, and Rusty Wallace completing the top 5. We are already a 4th of the way through the Pontiac Excitement 400.
Duel Tire and Auto can do a whole lot more than sell you a great set of tires for your car. And if you don't bring it to a shop with certified mechanics and over 60 years combined experience like us, well, it could change everything. Because we're an authorized Napa Car Care Center and an American Car Care Center with coast-to-coast warranty protection. So when you bring your car, truck, or van to us, it changes everything. Not to mention the tires you'll drive away on.
Hey, nice tires.
Biglerville Tire and Auto, just like the name said.
ESPN unveils a new profile in our countdown of the 50 greatest athletes of the century. This week, Big Red. The only thoroughbred to crack 2 minutes in the Derby, he became a legend with his 31-length victory in the Belmont to capture the 1973 Triple Crown. It's a record some say will never be broken. Sports Century's 50 Greatest Athletes, number 35, Secretariat, Friday at 10:30 on ESPN, presented by General Motors.
A shower of sparks over Richmond International Raceway as the 91 car of Dick Trickle has hit the wall, but no caution. He's down to the inside of the racetrack, but has a long way to go to come onto the pits.
And we see the right front tire just simply tearing itself apart as Trickle is trying to get back to the pit area.
No other car involved in the incident, and this is how it happened. Up in turn 3.
The tire went down and just shot him right up into the wall. Didn't hit it real hard. And while that was going on, Bobby Labonte passed Mark Martin for second place.
This is from Wally Dallenbach. You see the sparks coming from the 91 car as it goes up and bumps the wall. John Kernan is right there.
They'll change all 4 tires for Dick Trickle. It's hard to tell if the right front tire went flat before it hit the wall, but that's what the movement would indicate. And also, I think Terry Labonte's crew is going to bring him in at this moment. He's sitting right behind Trickle, but you can see the right front tire was completely flat, but that happened probably after he was already hit the wall. Let's go down to Dr. Jerry Punch. And Kenny Irwin's unscheduled pit stop, the car got very, very sluggish, almost like it was running out of gas. He came down pit road. They changed the carburetor, had trouble getting the car fired. It finally did fire back up. Doug Gates said, we're not sure if it got trashed or something in the carburetor, but it wasn't getting fuel. Now, they have changed the carburetor. Now, Kenny says the car is running well, but this guy's teammate is on the move, Dale Jarrett.
Dale Jarrett is on the move up to 4th position now. As he moves through some of the slower traffic, that's Derek Cope in the 30 and Brett Bodine in the number 11. Kenny Irwin, by the way, lost 9 laps while they changed that carburetor. There is a car off the track. That is David Green. John Kernan, Terry Labonte, and again.
The problem with the right front tire blistering on Terry Labonte's car. The last time they pitted, they put a rubber in the right wheel to try and loosen it up. The car just too tight, and when it's too tight, building up a lot of heat in that right front tire, causing the blistering problem. But they've changed all 4 tires. Terry Labonte made some air pressure adjustments and hoping that solves their tightness problem, because if not, then they're going to have some more problems with that right front. But definitely the right front tire on Terry Labonte's car blistered again.
And Labonte is going to go 3 laps down now before he gets back up to speed. Looks like Trickle is back up to speed.
Well, it's getting a black flag, I believe.
Oh, he's still sparking,
yeah. Sparks coming from it. And Ricky Rudd was running right there with him the time before. I thought that Ricky Rudd was getting the black flag, and Ricky Rudd is coming on to pit road. Now, whether he thought he got the black flag or was just coming in anyway, Ricky Rudd is in, as we see on the tire board, getting to change the tires.
Right side's going on. Now it'll be a 4-tire change.
Derek Cope is hard into the wall.
Into the wall in turn number 3 and heavy contact.
And Steve Park has a right front tire down on his car as he's down in 1 and 2, and sparks are flying from under his car.
I think they made contact. I think the 1 and the 30 car.
We got a cut tire, guys.
We see the leader of the race slowing down. All these guys racing back to the line, trying to get a lap back.
Terry Labonte.
Come on pit road. I'm sorry, man.
Here it is again. It's going into turn 3.
And yes, there was a little bit of contact. The 1 car hitting the 30 car. And around, Cope goes hard into the wall, and apparently that cut the tire on Steve Park's car. We'll watch it again here.
So it hurt both cars because the right front went down on Park, but the major damage was to the 30 car.
And there we see the right front there. The cap leaves the 1 car.
Bill Weber is down in the 99 pit of Jeff Burton.
They told Jeff Burton to bring it in and park it straight, leave room to get around the 94. His car, he needs to be a little freer in the middle of the turn, and he needs a little bit of bite to help him get into the turns. They've added the wedge adjustment, putting on the left side tires. It's very fun.
And Rusty Wallace's previous pit stop, they took a round of bite out, and they made a track bar adjustment. They made another track bar adjustment this time. Burton is out. Martin is out. Bobby Labonte. Here goes Dale Jarrett. In the 2-car, Rusty Wallace, John Andretti will follow him out, as does Ward Burton.
There's Kyle Petty, Bobby Hamilton, Dale Earnhardt, John Kernan reports on Tony Stewart's pit stop.
It was a 4-tire change for Tony Stewart. They made a track bar adjustment to try and loosen the car up. Remember we told you Terry Labonte's car was tight? Several people up on this end of pit road have been complaining of the car being tight. Tony Stewart's problem, just the opposite. So they changed 4 tires, made the track bar adjustment, and they hope that cured the problem.
Tony has not moved up very much from his 30th starting position tonight. As he comes down, the computer will show him back in the 16th position. So he picked up a few spots during the pit stop. There's the incident that has put out the caution again. Contact between Steve Parkin, number 1, and the 30 car of Derek Cope, sending Derek hard into the 3rd turn wall. Back with more live coverage in just a moment of the Pontiac Excitement 400 from Richmond.
Pepsi presents a Jeff Gordon moment. Following a championship season, it only took Jeff Gordon 3 races in 1996 to find himself in victory lane. Starting on the front row at Richmond with teammate Terry Labonte, Gordon led the final 50 laps to win the Pontiac Excitement 400, his 10th career win, and the first of 10 wins in 1996. Another Jeff Gordon moment.
Gordon is way behind. Stick a fork in Jeff. He's done. Oh, my. What is he thinking? Holy Baloo. What the heck is that?
Ooh, that's got to hurt.
Well, what could possess a man to drive like that?
Gotcha.
He's making his move backwards. Gordon wins.
We got to get him a couple.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Amazing. That car never ages.
To help keep your car young, protect your engine with Havoline Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car.
This summer, if you can dream it up, Sonic can put it in a cup. We've got hundreds of drink flavors you can mix and match. Plus, our 44-ounce Route 44 big drinks. Enough choices to let your dreams run wild.
Sonic America's driving.
Today's lawnmowers have a broad range of quality features to help you meet your needs. The best ones have one feature in common, a Briggs & Stratton engine. Make sure your lawnmower is powered by Briggs & Stratton.
The meat hooks of a sculptor shape a sport. Another carcass is showcased on canvas. In a nest of film and lamps, a pop star flaps his chops, filled with lyrics and rhyme. The greatest, the greatest, the greatest. We see it.
Sports Center of the Decade, Friday at 7:30 on ESPN. Presented by General Motors.
X Games version 5.0 launches this June. This summer's hottest competition delivers attitude, amplitude, speed, and big air. ESPN will bring the aerial assault to the city by the bay, San Francisco, starting June 27th. 8 days of the world's greatest masters who don't just defy gravity, they control it. X Games 1999. This ain't the summer of love.
Boy, VP, in just a little over a month, you'll be able to go out there and show those boys how that's done, huh?
Yeah, luge. I can see me now.
Down to Bill Weber.
Okay, pit road is always a crowded place, and it's not necessarily just coming down and making the stop. It's getting in and out of your pit cleanly. Watch how close this is for Jeff Burton. They have a great pit stop, 4 tires, make an adjustment, and then just as he's about to pull out, the 94 will slide in front of him. Now watch this. Only his spotter, Bobby Hudson, jumped on the radio and said, wait, the 94 is coming. Now, they warned Burton about this coming down pit road. Remember, we talked about it when he came in, that the 94 would be pitting in front of him and was deeper in the field. It would be tight getting out. Burton was going to leave. Hudson jumped on the button, said, wait, the 94 is coming. They avoided disaster. Mark that down as we get into the late laps. Here's Jerry.
And you John Andretti fans may want to mark this down. John had just radioed in and said, I got a vibration when the caution came out. The next time he was going to come in anyway, that's when Derek Cope's car hit the wall. He would have made an unscheduled pit stop talking about Andretti and lost at least 2 laps. When the caution came out, he comes down pit road and pits, and his right front tire is peeling away, is blistering. These are part of the cords and fiber dangling from the inside of that right front. That could have cost him dearly here tonight. Let's check in with John Kernan.
Just a medical update from last night's Busch Series race. We saw Steve Grissom with a crash. He did not suffer any broken bones. That's the good news. He was just a little bit sore, but he's not in the race this evening. He's still stuck around Richmond today, and I'm told that he met with some potential Winston Cup car owners. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Update on Dale Jarrett, who's having an excellent run from deep in the field after qualifying. They thought he was going to get tighter, but actually he ended up a little looser at the end of that last run. They made an air pressure adjustment in the right rear to help out that car, and their tire wear on their right front, which has been the critical tire, looks good. Now, several of these teams have talked to their drivers about tire wear, telling them to be cautious on the racetrack, and also teams are watching for other cars that drop out of the race to see if they can get extra tires down the stretch. Goodyear had very few tires left at the start of this race.
Okay, Jarrett has picked up 17 positions since the drop of the green flag from 21st to 4th.
This car seems to really come in after they run about 25 or 30 laps. We're going to get the signal now for one more lap to go, and under caution, we'll be back to green flag racing.
Now, Jeff Gordon is back on the lead lap, and Steve Park has lost 1 and now loses 2 laps as he is still on pit road. Well, tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern Time, here on ESPN, you can check out the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the Napa 300K from Pikes Peak International Raceway. It's at 3:30 in the afternoon. Who's on the pole, BP?
Mike Bliss will start on the pole. Kevin Harvick, who finished second last week, is second. Andy Houston in third. Greg Biffle, the winner last week, will start fourth, and Jack Sprague will start fifth. And a lot of folks at Pikes Peak tomorrow will be rooting for that number 6 truck. Corelli's truck, the Remax, will be driven by Randy Renfro, qualified 6th. Just an update on Corelli. He's still in the Memphis hospital, and they're calling his condition stable.
Get well quick, Rick Corelli. Be ready. We get ready to go green once again.
Green flag.
I guess Jeff Gordon didn't get back on the lead lap. He's a lap down, lined up there on the inside.
Well, he was almost 2 laps down when he came out of the pits, and so he did pull away from the leader at that time, and now he needs to pass the leader again and hope for another caution to get back on the lead lap.
And the leader is Jeff Burton in the 99, Bobby Labonte second, Mark Martin third, then Dale Jarrett and Rusty Waller. John Andretti running 6th, and Ward Burton. Mike Skinner coming from a couple of laps down, up to 8th. Kyle Petty and Bobby Hamilton are your top 10. Here's the Napa field summary and the manufacturer's points battle. Ford with an 8-point advantage on Chevy. Boy, Mike Skinner has had quite a roller coaster ride already, hasn't he?
Well, he has. You know, he got 2 laps down when he had a tire problem and lost 2 laps on a green flag pit stop, but is now back on the lead lap and in the top 10.
He started the race in 7th, but was down as low as 43rd.
Wow. He's currently in 7th spot as he tries his best to get by the Caterpillar Pontiac of Ward Burton. Can't quite make it as Burton gets that gray run on the outside. This is Elliott Sadler's Sitco car. He is 1 lap down, back to 31st position as he watches this battle going on behind him.
And for a taste of the race, some Jimmy Dean sausage telemetry for you. Let's see the top speed and the RPMs and the brake percentage. Look at that, 70% brake going in.
Yeah, that's when you're running in heavy traffic. You use a lot of the brakes.
He's at 9,000 RPMs down in turn 1.
Up to about 142 or 3 miles an hour.
Now, Jeff Gordon is up front there. He's trying to get his lap back. He's right on the back bumper of the 99 car of Jeff Burton, who is leading. Bobby Labonte is right there trying to take over the lead.
John, meanwhile, is standing by with Derek Cope, and we're glad to see that he apparently is okay.
Bob, Derek has been checked out in the infield care center. Good news is he's okay, but a hard crash, Derek. What happened?
We were just running on the high side, and then Steve Park was trying to get by on the bottom side, and he was struggling down there, and he got into me going into 3, and I don't think it was intentional. He was just having a rough go, and it's just tough, you know. You run the outside trying to keep going, and I think the bottom's awful tough to run. It's awful loose down there.
Derek Cope, it's been a tough year. The good news is, though, he is okay. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Well, Steve Park still sits on pit road, and in my opinion, the most serious damage here is to this team's ego. They were flying high a few laps ago. Now they're just crushed. They knew they had an opportunity. Park had told his team, this is the most fun I've had all year. Remember, he's coming back from that serious injury of a year ago. Did not run the entire schedule last season. Right now, they had to replace the sway bar. They've got some busted hind joints. They were working on the front suspension. They looked under the hood. They just sent him back out several laps down. These guys are going to run tonight, but it's a very disappointing evening in Richmond for the Penfoil guys.
Yeah, Bill is being shown 11 laps down right now, so all he can hope to do is ride it out.
Right along with Dale Jarrett, the Ford Quality Care automobile. He's back in 4th spot as he tries to chase down Mark Martin.
These are the things that can haunt you in a long run. Here's John Andretti and Rusty Wallace.
But the cooler heads prevailed, and John backed out. No major damage.
But you just hope that you don't knock that fender in on a tire, because those fenders are nothing but just very thin sheet metal. It takes nothing to bend those things, and if they start rubbing that tire, it takes nothing to cut those tires down.
See the wheel mark there on the side of the 43 car where he rubbed just a little bit against Rusty. He's going to try it again.
Not a good run, but I don't think he's going to be able to take the spot away from Rusty.
I've watched a number of cars trying to come off of turn 2 down on that inside, and when you take your line away, as that car on the outside will do, it's very difficult to get the traction you need coming off of that turn.
Now he's alongside Rusty again, and this time he may have the advantage.
He gets a little better angle off this time, and is able to make the pass.
So put John Andretti up in 5th now, and Rusty to 6th. 141 laps have been completed here. Jeff Burton is your leader, and that last lap around, he was the fastest on the racetrack at 122.5 and is managing to keep Jeff Gordon back there a lap down.
Yeah, he's got to run as hard as he can possibly run right now. He might be abusing that car a little bit more than he would like to, because he needs to keep Jeff Gordon behind him.
There are the top 10 with 142 out of 400 laps completed in the Pontiac Excitement 400.
You know, my first racing days were pretty rough. With my wheels set so close together, I was always getting loose in the turns. Now that I'm trading paint with the big boys, wider is better.
The White Track Grand Prix delivers precise control of the corners. No wonder it's been selected official pace car of NASCAR.
There's no getting around it. Wider.
Wider is better. Now you can take that to the bank with this winning offer on the White Track Grand Prix. See your local Pontiac dealer for details.
Just stay still. Don't move. Okay, now, does it hurt when I do this? A possible torn meniscus. Is there any pain when I do this? All right. You've dislocated your patella. I'm going to have to set it. Hang on.
Okay. You are an orthopedic surgeon.
No, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
So, Murray, did you hear?
Bottleneck across the way.
Fred,
time in his life.
Yeah, got sprayed. Didn't he just get sprayed? Yeah, it took off his head, but didn't get the roots. Grew back stronger than ever. Whatever got him this time was different.
He had such strong roots. They were handsome roots. And deep.
I didn't think anything could take old Nick. Hey, next time, it could be us.
Don't even think it.
Roundup kills even tough weeds down to the root. Roundup, no root, no weed, no problem.
Rock and roll. We love you.
To keep your car rocking, protect your engine with Havoline Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car.
Move it. They're catching us.
Hey there, from Plank Road. We're down here side by each in my custom bomb shelter, which of course is stocked with plenty of canned goods, and I'm not talking about lima beans, okay? I'm talking about the beer with the never watered down taste.
Ice House.
Yes. Down here, we have the freedom to do whatever our hearts desire.
This is awesome.
What can we say? Out here, our world is beer.
ESPN back live at Richmond International Raceway in Henrico County, Virginia. 92,000 permanent seats. You got about 4,000 more in the suites. You count those in the infield, and you got almost 100,000 gathered here tonight to watch this 11th race of the 1999 NASCAR Winston Cup season. There's the overhead view of the facility, courtesy of the Pennzoil Copter Cam. And we're also seeing that Jeff Burton is no longer the leader of the race.
Bobby Labonte just drove down to the inside, took that spot away, and just pulled already 2 car links on Jeff Burton.
Bobby has not led yet this evening, but now give him 5 bonus points. He becomes the 8th leader of the evening. 7th, beg your pardon, 7th leader.
Ward Burton there in the car number 22, he has been in the middle of traffic all night long. He's driven his heart out, and he's sitting right now in 12th position, but he's been in heavy traffic. As you can see Johnny Benson coming on the inside of him. Hey, there's Benson. We haven't talked that much about him this evening, but he's making a run towards the front.
Started in 26th position, did Benson. Is up to 26th and has a new crew chief this week, Pat Tryson, on the 26 car.
Dale Jarrett backed off to let Ricky Rudd go by, and John Andretti got on the inside of him and has made the pass, taken over 4th, dropped Jarrett back to 5th place. We had a report from the pits that Jarrett had told Todd Parrott, the crew chief, that that set of tires that he's got on his car now is the loosest one he's had all night. For more information, let's go to the pits and Bill Weber.
You got it right on, Ned. DJ about 10, 12 laps ago radioed in. We're looser on this set of tires. He suggests they drop the track bar on the next pit stop. Meanwhile, Todd pleaded with him, almost begging him, please take it easy on those tires. DJ's response, 10-4.
This is the same car that he raced here last spring, leading 108 laps and finishing in 2nd position, and the same car he raced at Martinsville earlier this year and finished 8th.
Here's a good battle back in the pack. There's Joe Nemechek in the car number 42, running in 16th position. There's Sterling Marlin right in front of him. There's Jimmy Spencer coming into the picture. Brett Bodine in the car number 11 is a lap down. He's being shown in 30th position. Tim Prater in the green car right behind him. He's in the thick of that battle. They're running about 11 to 11 and a half seconds behind the leader, Bobby Labonte, which is about a half a lap.
Here's Jeremy Mayfield running back in 19th position. Now make that 20th as Rick Mast goes to the inside and passes him. And that's the Hobus Pipe Ford now for Rick Mast. And he, too, has a new crew chief. Jerry Pitts joins the organization.
There's still 28 cars on the lead lap.
Right now, Jeremy Mayfield, we can see the Mobil 1 car struggling. As he works his way backwards, here comes Ricky Clay with the Hollywood Videos Ford trying to get on the inside of Jeremy. If he's able to pull that off, Rich Bickle's back there to do the same thing.
Laps away from the halfway mark. Lowe's field summary will show you the points positions as of now, with Mark up 1 and Jeff Gordon down 1 because of Jeff's unscheduled pit stop. It's put him a lap down back in 29th. Mike Skinner up 2 and Earnhardt into the top 10 of points. And Earnhardt was running in the top 10 of the standings here until just a few moments ago, and he's now slipped back to 11th position. And the car that took the 10th position is right there, Tony Stewart.
Wow, what a great run for Tony Stewart. Qualified all the way back in 30th position. Said, well, oh yeah, we finally found a racetrack Tony Stewart won't be able to run well on. Wrong.
Yeah, yes, again, because he was struggling earlier in the race, and I'm sure they made some adjustments on his Pontiac, and he's just gradually coming on back up now.
This is his first Winston Cup race here. He has run 3 Busch races at this facility. Dale Earnhardt is in 11th. John Kernan has more on Dale's run.
Remember a little bit earlier, I told you they had a brake balance problem on Earnhardt's car. They fixed that after happy hour. Right now, the car running pretty well. The first set of tires, it was just a little bit tight. Showed some small blisters on the right front tire. But now it loosened up at the end of the last run. They've made some minor adjustments. They like the way the car is now, but right now Richard Childress, car owner, has told Dale, just be easy, be smooth. Try and save that right front tire. And they've been telling him the lines that the leaders are running, the first couple of cars, and Earnhardt's been trying to run those same lines to see if they will also work for him.
Chad Little made an unscheduled pit stop in the John Deere Ford Taurus.
Actually, he's been out behind the wall for a while, Benny. He's about 45 laps down.
There is the leader of the race, Bobby Labonte, enjoying just about a 1-second lead. Chad Little now gathering up some speed and a little loose there in the corner. Almost took out Preston Wallace in the process, but everything's okay now as he warms up the tires.
I think that's a situation where they restart with the tire pressure down. And these cars, when they underinflate these tires, they are an absolute handful to get around until that pressure builds up.
With about a 1.2-second advantage now over Jeff Burton. He's about 3.5 seconds ahead of Mark Martin, 5 1/3 ahead of Dale Jarrett, and about 5 3/4 seconds ahead of John Andretti. Back with more in a moment at Richmond.
When you need a new driveway or a driveway repaved, call Henson Paving, your local leader in paving. You've ridden on their work, you just might not have known it. Henson Paving can resurface your existing driveway or build one from the dirt up. All driveways are installed with the same care and attention to quality that we give our biggest contract jobs. When you need paving, think Henson Paving. When you need a driveway, there's only one place to call, Henson Paving. Look for us in the white pages. Henson Paving, making things go smoothly for over 30 years.
Instant coffee, instant pudding, instant replay, instantly recognizable name brand merchandise. Shoes and athletic footwear from Nike, Adidas, New Balance, Birkenstock, and more. Accessories, outerwear, and NASCAR merchandise. And lower prices across the board. Now in our 20th year with the same great selection and service. Visit our permanent location on Carlisle Street in Hanover. Instant Replay. Just add water.
Sometimes, after NHL tonight, I take my knowledge to a sports bar. There's always someone there who thinks his knowledge is the biggest. Then, I show them mine.
Back at Richmond, we had been watching John Andretti lose positions, assuming maybe that the right front was getting hot and maybe starting to blister, and I'll be son of a gun, he hit the wall up in turn number 1 hard, and Ricky Rudd has too. And Rusty Wallace may be involved.
So we understand that he and Rusty Wallace did get together.
John Andretti has made his way to pit road as the 28 of Kenny Urban is also going slowly down pit road, and Ricky Rudd is trying to get to the pits.
Well, the leaders are coming to the pits.
Here they come, led by Bobby Labonte, Jeff Burton, Mark Martin, and Dale Jarrett, Bill Weber.
Well, this should be like a routine stop at your local service station. 4 tires and fuel for Bobby Labonte. Very happy, obviously, with how the car is handling. They told him to take it easy, but the car is just running very well. Jeff Burton is also on pit road. On the left side of the 99, Tony Stewart also on pit road. Now the 18 is down. He's on his way. Burton is going to try and squeeze by the 94. He'll follow the 18. Here's Jerry.
The damaged cars of Ricky Rudd are in. Mike Skinner gets in and out as the tire rolls around the backside of Rusty Wallace's car. Rusty said he had a right front tire going down. It was completely flat. In fact, Ricky Rudd had called in just before the accident, said, I got a right front going down. That's exactly at the same point the 43 car hit the wall. Rudd is down and away, but John Andretti not so lucky as Bobby Loomis and the SCP crew now working on the right front, the heavily damaged right front of one of our early leaders tonight, John Andretti, who sits on pit road still in the car, and the comment was he had no warning whatsoever.
He led 24 laps earlier in the race. Here's the replay of what happened.
He had been slowing down, and he goes down to turn 1, and you see the right front tire goes flat. And when it does, it drops down on the suspension, the exhaust. That's all the sparks you see. And there's nothing Andretti can do except go right into the wall, and that's what he did. Boom.
Now from Rusty Wallace's onboard camera, here's what happened with Ricky Rudd. Oh, wow.
Rusty Wallace lost the right, Ricky Rudd lost the right front tire and took Rusty Wallace with him.
Exactly. That's what happened. Rusty was on the outside of him. The tire went down on Rudd's car. He was about to come into the pits when Andretti had his problem, and Rusty just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
A lot of activity here in the last few laps have caused some bad luck for some drivers, but Bobby Labonte is still in the lead here at Richmond. Back in just a moment.
Ready to spend a weekend with Rusty Wallace?
Hey, Rusty, you pop the trunk?
It's going to be a long weekend. If your game piece matches this one, Energizer is sending you to the races with Rusty.
There's something special about the folks who work at AutoZone. The fact that they know more than a thing or two about looking up parts and solving problems. Their willingness to go the extra mile. And their belief in doing what's right. So it's no wonder why millions of customers turn to us each week for help in getting back on the road. Because working at AutoZone means taking pride in taking care of people.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Amazing. That car never ages.
To help keep your car young, protect your engine with Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car.
ESPN coverage of the Pontiac Excitement 400 being brought to you by Energizer Advanced Formula. No battery lasts longer. By the more than 2,500 AutoZone stores across America, AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car. 177 laps have been completed, and Jeff Gordon has also fallen victim to this flat right front.
He and Jeff Bodine got together out on the racetrack as they were jockeying for position, trying to come up through, since they were lapped down, to come up to get to the front on the restart. And we're going to get that signal, I think, one more lap to go right now, and apparently it cut a tire down on Gordon's car. I
guess what was happening to Bodine actually is in the lead lap, Ned. He was probably weaving back and forth trying to get his tires filled up as Jeff Gordon was going by him to get up to the front, and they made contact as Jeff Gordon, with the signal 1 lap to go, is coming back down pit road.
Down to Jerry Punch.
With Wayne Torrance, product manager for Goodyear. Wayne, what is the problem we're seeing with the right front tire, and what are you telling the teams?
Well, our first thoughts with the first couple tires was that we were having a problem maybe with delamination or improper adhesion, but there's too many of them, and they are all on the right front, so it definitely is heat related. For some unknown reason tonight, maybe conditions have changed, but the tires are basically showing no wear at all. Where in happy hour, you know, you were getting pretty significant wear.
And wear dissipates heat, so you're getting all the heat built up.
Right, wear does dissipate the heat, and tonight that's not happening. So,
how can the teams fix it? What are you telling them they can do? Can you tell them the teams can make an air pressure adjustment to help the problem?
We're telling them if they're up on air to go down to try to get more of a footprint on the tread, you know, maybe spread it out a little bit, because all of this is happening in one area on the tire.
Wayne, thank you very much. I know you're busy. Thanks for coming by. Thank you. Guys, what they're telling the teams is to basically drop the right front air pressure 1 to 2 psi to try to improve the footprint and dissipate the heat.
And folks, it's not because of the temperature here tonight that we're getting that kind of heat.
No, it's a cool evening here. It's just that the tires are building up heat and can't dissipate it. Now, Jeff Gordon, we'll see what happened to him here from Bill L. Oh, there's the contact between Gordon and Jeffrey Bodine. Now, Jeff, as Benny mentioned, came down pit road for a second time, but he did not stop because the green was about to come out.
So he's running a good half a lap behind the leaders now, and he is still 1 lap down.
Up front, it's still Bobby Labonte, pursued by Mark Martin, Jeff Burton, Dale Jarrett, and Mike Skinner running fifth. The 55 car is in the pits and going behind the wall. Kenny Wallace, after starting in second position here tonight.
That's too bad. We got a good run going. Now 25 cars on the lead lap.
Bill Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, batted for the 7th position.
Terry Labonte is 4 laps down, and now we see a battle for the lead as Mark Martin wants to go back in front. He's led 34 laps tonight. Wants to get up front again. Bobby Labonte has led 33, and in all of his 46 short track races before tonight, Bobby Labonte has only led 32, so he has more than double run at least that many tonight.
Yeah, they went into the 1999 season, the Joe Gibbs Interstate Batteries team, saying there's one area that we need to concentrate on to get better on. That is our short track team. Apparently they have improved.
All his 46 short track races, his best finish was 6th, and his best finish here at Richmond, 8th. That occurred twice, including a year ago at this time. This was held in June of last year here at Richmond. Mark Martin now out in front. Here comes Jeff Burton to maybe take second from Labonte.
He's down on the inside. He's got a run on him going into turn 1. Probably not fighting too hard.
Jerry is with John Andretti, who's gone behind the wall.
Bob still sitting patiently in the car. They're trying to work on the right front. John, any warning at all that the right front was going to come apart on you?
Yeah, we had a vibration, and hoping a caution would come out, but unfortunately we ended up being a caution. So they're going to do the best they can to get me back out there, but just sad.
Well, John able to smile even though he had one heck of a race car. Ricky Rudd just pulled behind the wall, too. He's about 15 feet away, and I believe John Kernan has caught up with the driver in the garage area. John?
Kenny Wallace started on the outside of the front row tonight. Had a good run going, Kenny, but when you pulled into the garage area, the motor wasn't running. What's the problem?
Well, about lap 30, I noticed the motor kind of, slowing up, and it just felt like it started moaning the whole race and finally just seized up there and blew up. It's a shame, we really were better than what we looked, but we just blowed up.
Just blowed up. They'll get them next week.
Also looks like the 11 car, the Paycheck
because he pulled his car in the garage area.
Check out the points as of now in our Lowe's field summary.
Jeff Burton, Mark Martin, two of the Jack Roush cars, are a little bit quicker for 25 laps. The first 25 laps after a tire change, and then it looks like that the 18th car of Bobby Labonte has been quicker from that point on. We'll see if what's going to happen this time.
And got to take Mike Skinner into consideration here. He has moved up to the 4th place and battling now with Jeff Burton. His car is very good. Boy, he drives her deep into the turns, Mike Skinner does. And fortunately for him, it sticks.
Mike has run into some bad luck here, or had run into some bad luck. He pulled out a 10th place finish at California, but had a 36th and a 42nd and a 32nd place finish during the year. And almost a wreck by Rusty Wallace.
I was watching that as he went into that turn. That was about to be a big one. There were 3 abreast going into the turn. Rusty didn't know it when he got down there.
And once again, Rusty Wallace once again is about to got out of shape going in turn 3.
Well, it's dropped him all the way back to 14th. And Robert Presley's in the wall again.
Hold on, Robert, hold on. No caution flag yet. And he does hold on, but
boy, Jeff Gordon would like to see a caution, but as we watched what happened here with Rusty a moment ago, as Ward Burton got down on the inside of the 28 of Kenny Irwin, and they went in there 3 wide, and Rusty had to get up into the marbles.
Now battle for second as Jeff Burton and Bobby Labonte are still going at it.
And right in front of them, Mark Martin is leading, but they have caught Jeff Gordon. Now, Jeff Gordon was about a half a lap behind. We said that he came into the pits, but didn't stop, went back out because the green flag's coming out. Now he's going 2 laps down.
There's something definitely up and something amiss with the DuPont Chevrolet of Jeff Gordon.
29th position now, and Gordon is a full 2 laps down. And we're nearing the halfway point, only a little more than 2 laps to go until we reach halfway, the 200 lap mark. And Mark Martin is in command right now by just about 4 car lengths over Bobby Labonte.
Hey, Ray, those brake pads really did the trick. Great. I got a couple more things I need. Do you think you have these?
Thanks. No problem. Hey, Jeff, can you get these for Dan?
I'm on it.
Hey, Dan, here you go. Anything else?
No, I think this'll do it.
All right, sure.
Thanks, guys.
Not as fast as Charlotte. Yeah, I know. It's a little slow in that turn at aisle 3.
Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
It is more than sport. It is spirit. Ritual. Family. The Coca-Cola Racing family. Refreshed by Coke.
Well, some days, I'm not a foreman, I'm a circus juggler. I got product coming off the line, warehouses filling up. I got deliveries I got to move off the dock. Sometimes things get a little crazy. I need an extra fork, maybe a lift will go down. I call Nations Rent. Whatever I need, whenever I need it, they bring it out. Newer stuff, names I know, nothing over a few years old. So it works. And it's one less ball I got to keep in the air. They make it happen for me.
Nations Rent. 1-800-NO-SWEAT.
What's it like to bite into a Wendy's Classic half-pound double with cheese? Man, this is weird. Wendy's, it's hamburger bliss.
Morning, ESPN, 644, license, 4644.
6 speed Clark, all-world from the University of Hawaii, the titan of the keyboard, his highness of the highlight, Larry
Welcome back to Richmond International Raceway and the Pontiac Excitement 400 NASCAR Winston Cup race. Well, beginning tomorrow, we'll have coverage of the 83rd running of the Indianapolis 500 on ESPN and ESPN2, including Pole Day, which is a week from today, Bubble Day, a week from tomorrow, Carburation Day, the Thursday before the race, and the pit stop competition. We'll begin it all at 5 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow afternoon from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And then the biggie is on, of course, Sunday, May 30th at 11 o'clock, the 83rd running of the 500. That will be on ABC. All right, we're 206 laps in now. Mark Martin led at the halfway point, and the only other race he has led at the halfway point was Rockingham. And he won that one. Right now, it is Jeff Burton who is up front, and a battle for 7th position as Kenny Irwin.
Oh, he's going to get in his oil and spin if he isn't careful.
Nice save, huh?
Nice save.
He finds pit road, and he has had just one miserable night after running second for the first few laps. Other people have had problems, right, Jerry?
Indeed, Ricky Rudd's crew behind the wall working on the car. Michael McSwain, the crew chief. Michael, not the debut you wanted for the Tide team. How bad is the car hurt?
It's not real bad. It's mostly the right front suspension, lower suspension. It's really a shame because the Tide 4 Taurus is running really good tonight. You know, Ricky's had a tough season. It's my first race over here, and we were really looking for a good race tonight. We'll get it back out and do the best we can.
All right, tough break for the Tide team. Ricky Rudd still sitting in the car with the helmet on and the face shield, hoping to get this car back out for some valuable points as we are once again under caution here at Richmond for oil on the racetrack. Let's check in with John Kernan.
Jerry, Brett Bodine's crew also feverishly working here in the garage area to try and get him back out. Not an engine problem on the 11 car. It's a broken rear end gear. They brought a new gear to put in, broken rear end gear for Brett Bodine.
All right, the pace car has formed up the field now. We should be seeing pit road open and another barrage of pit stops. We are under caution because of some oil on the racetrack.
Probably came from Kenny Irwin's car. Let's watch him as he comes down into turn 3. As we watch the battle in front of you, see the smoke start to come from the Texaco Haviland Ford. And he got it off the racetrack as quickly as he could, but he's still in part of the group. Let's go to the pits and Bill.
Well, Jeff Burton is here. He angles it out to try and help him squeeze past the 94. He wants them to free the car up in the center of the turn. The 99, the 18, and the 6 on your screen. Around to the left side with the 99. Let's go to Jerry.
Track bar adjustment to the right rear from the Valvoline Ford of Mark Martin, 4 tires. Burton is out. He is down pit road. Here is Labonte out. Bobby Labonte we're talking about. Behind him is Dale Garrett, but also the car number 6 of Mark Martin's great pit stop, 17 seconds flat as they exit pit road.
Mike Skinner's the guy who really made a great pit stop there. He was running in the 5th position and came out, or running in 4th position and came out in 2nd.
Down to John Kernan, who reports on Dale Earnhardt's stop.
Dale Earnhardt was in for 4 tires. They also made a slight chassis adjustment on the right rear, trying to loosen the car up just a little bit. Otherwise, the car is in pretty good shape. Also, Rich Bickle took on 4 tires, a track bar adjustment for him. He's been loose all night getting into the corner. And also, Kevin LePage took on 4 tires.
Tony Stewart is making a second pit stop. He and Ken Schrader collided as they were both coming out of pit road on the first stop, and so that's necessitated Tony coming back in for another one.
We can see the damage to the right front fender and also a fender brace. Looked like he was dangling on the 20 car. It might not be a bad idea to bring that car back in and check it again. Jerry Punch?
Doug Reichert, your car number 28, a lot of smoke and oil, and now a caution flag. Are you done for the night?
Yeah, we're done. We had a little problem with the motor there, but, man, I tell you, we had a really good car tonight, and Kenny was doing a good job. But, you know, my hat's off on all the guys. It's a brand-new race car we brought here, qualified 3rd. You know, we was running in the top 10 there until we ran over a tire on pit road, and that set us back a little bit. But, you know,
the bright side is we're running good, and I'm happy. You know, we look forward to the next race at Charlotte.
All right, Doug Reichert stopping to talk to us. Disappointment for Kenny Irwin. They are through for the night. An engine failure as he heads back to the garage area.
Well, let's check out the crew cam, BP.
Right rear tire changer, Mike Suter. Michael Walker goes in. Here goes Mike, taking off those lug nuts. Glenn Bundaberg throws that tire in. He puts the wrench on the other side. Around to the left side. Left nuts are coming off. Watch the sparks flying. He takes them off. Jack goes up. He throws it off. Bundaberg throws him another tire. That's pretty quick, isn't it?
That's nice. Jeff Gordon, the hood up on his car as he sits on pit road.
I think they've got a cylinder miss on this DuPont car, and they're probably trying to figure out exactly what the problem is.
Not been a good night for Jeff so far. Tony Stewart did come back in. John can update.
Tony Stewart was in. They had the strings out to check the toe on the car. It is out just a little bit. They also want to come back in as soon as they can. They will work on that right front fender and the left front fender, and to make sure that the fenders are not on the tire. They do not want to cut a tire down. But Tony Stewart should be in shortly. Let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch.
And they will be bringing Jeff Gordon back down pit road. Apparently, both front tires are towed out. And the DuPont Chevrolet will be making its way back down pit road. That's why they raised the hood to try to make an adjustment on the front end of the car. As they are trying to get Jeff Gordon's attention, we continue under caution at Richmond International Raceway. The Pontiac Excitement 400 living up to its name. A lot of excitement, and we have more to come. Stay with us.
You know, my first racing days were pretty rough. With my wheels set so close together, I was always getting loose in the turns. Now that I'm trading paint with the big boys, wider is better.
The White Track Grand Prix delivers precise control of the corners. No wonder it's been selected official pace car of NASCAR.
There's no getting around it. Wider.
Wider is better. Now you can take that to the bank with this winning offer on the White Track Grand Prix. See your local Pontiac dealer for details.
You know, this place reminds me of a guy I knew named Julius.
Another Dale Waltrip story.
Oh, really. This guy, he was in the junkyard one day, kicking around, and he found a rocket booster. So he says, I'm going to set myself a land speed record. Now, he got that thing up to speed. He hit the switch. He took off into outer space.
So whatever happened to him?
He came down out here somewhere.
Get out of here.
Oh,
Now, Kmart.
What's all that?
I'm donating some old things.
Are those my Red Wings?
You've had those forever. Besides, you have a new pair.
Thanks. No problem.
Keep your car rocking, protect your engine with Havoline Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car.
Move it, they're catching us.
So you need a mortgage.
Yeah, but we don't really have any, collateral.
Well, no collateral's really not a problem for us. In fact, that's our motto. All right, once you sign here and you're all set. This is actually more than we need. Yeah, I threw in a little extra. So what's the interest rate? 0, if that's comfortable?
If getting a mortgage were this easy,
You need a bag for this?
you wouldn't need Century 21. Real estate for the real world. Learn more about our Connections program at century21.com.
216 laps completed in the Pontiac Excitement 400 at Richmond International Raceway in Rico County, Virginia. Pennzoil copter cam still circling over the crystal clear skies that we had tonight, unlike last night when we were interrupted and delayed several times by rain. In fact, qualifications postponed from yesterday to today for the Winston Cup cars. John Kernan.
Tony Stewart lost a lap that last time. As he came down, there's a hole punched in the right front fender. They had to put some tape on it. They didn't get him down fast enough to get down pit road to beat the pace car, so he's down a lap. However, the supports
on the right front fender. The lower supports on the right front fender were broken off, so they've ripped those off. They had the hole. They fixed the hole with tape. Now they are talking to a NASCAR official because they think that they made it past the start-finish line on pit road before the pace car did, but I'm not sure that that's going to wash with them, but we'll just have to wait and see. Let's go down to Dr. Jerry Price.
And Jeff Gordon will be coming back onto pit road for his 4th time during this caution flag. The problem continues to be the toe in the right front of the car. They have had trouble getting to it and getting it tight. They tried to make an adjustment. They thought they had it tight last time in, but it was not tight. They're going to have to hustle if they get the one to go this time by, which they have already gotten. He is just now coming into his pit as the pace car now leads the field out of turn 2 and up the backstretch. Gordon's crew now will raise the hood, and they're going to have to hustle. They're going to get the green this time by. They're trying to get the hood pins back on. They're trying to, Tony Gibson and the crew now trying to tighten the right front. The hood goes down as the pace cars are in turn 3, getting set for the restart. Gordon is down and away.
Comes the green flag to give us the restart. You know, it would have been better for Tony Stewart to speed, stay on the lead lap, and go to the end of the longest line, which is the penalty.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, as he was going down pit road, I said, Tony, pick up the speed, because once again, the penalty is the end of the longest line. Because Tony, that time for obeying the speed limit was being lapped.
Yep, down to 27th position now, a lap down. Jeff Burton is the leader. Mike Skinner now second. What an evening for Mike Skinner.
First car to have the right front tire problem. The inside of the tread coming off, lost a couple of laps, got them back, and is back up to 2nd position.
There's Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte, and Dale Jarrett, who complete the top 5. The 22 car of Warren Burton runs 6th, then Bobby Hamilton, who's right behind Ward. Dale Earnhardt running in 8th spot, followed by Joe Nemechek and Kyle Petty. Those are your top 10.
Rusty Wallace is 11th. Bill Elliott hanging in there in 12th. Kevin LePage.
And Jerry Nadeau, we understand, bumped the wall.
And he's one of those cars on the lead lap. He's back in 23rd position.
We see no smoke, so it's not a flat tire. It's a flat right side of the car. I guess he made contact with someone, lost control, and goes up and brushes the outside retaining wall.
With Jeff Burton continuing to lead, let's take a look at the Bud race recap. He's led 87 of 222 laps. We've had 10 lead changes, and the average speed a little more than 98 miles an hour as a result of 5 caution periods that totaled 36 laps. Here are the drivers who have led at least a lap, and we have a total of 7 drivers who have led a lap as we watch this battle now for 2nd position between the 31 and the 6, and a couple of 3 drivers are off the track: Brett Bodine, Ricky Rudd, and John Andretti. And as far as out of the race is concerned, these 4 have been eliminated from the competition. John has an update on Jerry Nadeau, who brushed the wall a while ago. John?
Just a couple of laps ago, Bob, Jerry radioed his crew chief Jeff Weiss, and said it just went straight into the wall. The next lap, he said, I think I've got a tire going down. We need to come in and pit for tires and take on right side tires. Well, what they told Jerry is to stay out there until he gets lapped. Then they would come in and put on right side tires, because as you mentioned, he is one of the cars still on the lead lap. So right now they are hoping for a caution.
But they hope that it won't be them, and we've seen that happen a couple of times tonight. You stay out there a little too long, and into the wall they go if that tire goes flat.
44 and the 42 are battling for position. The 7 car is not on the same lap, but Nemechek and Petty are, and so is Rusty Wallace. This is 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Michael Waltrip, the car number 7 there, he's a couple of laps down. He lost those early when he made an unscheduled pit stop and has never been able to get one of them back.
Sterling Marlin racing beside Robert Presley.
14th position. That is Tony Stewart, the Home Depot Pontiac. He is one lap down, back in 27th.
Won here in 1992. Here's Bobby Hamilton challenging Dale Jarrett for the 5th spot.
Jarrett's really having trouble getting through turns 1 and 2 right now. He holds his own pretty good in 3 and 4, even though Bobby comes back in there. But turns 1 and 2 have been a problem for Dale. He just can't seem to get off the corner there.
During our happy hour coverage, Bobby Hamilton told Ray Dunlap in the closing stages that he was very happy with the car and thought it would race well. It is.
Yeah, he was in street clothes like 15 or 20 minutes before happy hour ended and was happy with the car. And he was right, running good.
He's about 2 3/4 seconds behind the leader.
He's got a good run going this time, but Jarrett on the outside there was able to pull on back in front of him. DJ's having to run that high line. I guess that's the way his car is working right now. And as Benny Parsons pointed out a little bit earlier, you don't abuse those tires as much up there in that second groove as you do if you're down on the bottom of the racetrack.
I think that's the reason most of these guys that have moved up to the top of the racetrack to ensure themselves getting a good bite so that right front tire doesn't slide across the racetrack. I think what happens here is the sealer is worn off the bottom of the racetrack. When you run down there and try to run the bottom, I think that right front slides across the racetrack, not getting the grip that it needs, and is overheating that right front.
We talked to Michael McSwain a few minutes ago, the crew chief on Ricky Rudd's car. It is back out on the racetrack, albeit 54 laps down. We're on board with Jeff Burton, the leader, and that's Jeff Gordon up ahead, and he's about to go 3 laps down.
Yeah, his car is just definitely not up to par here this evening.
We saw that contact that Jeff Gordon had with Jeffrey Bodine as he was trying to get it for the inside line, and evidently bent something pretty severely in the right front on the DuPont Chevrolet. And Jerry Parker reported a couple times just cannot get the toe end right on the 24.
So his 200th NASCAR Winston Cup start started off well in first position as he won his 26th career pole, but things have not gone well in the race. He's now 3 laps down. Jeff Burton pulling away from him. He's also pulling away a bit from Mark Martin. Now has a 1.5 second advantage over Mark. Watch Kenny Schrader come through corner number 4 onto the front stretch.
Here he is in the green.
Oh, no, it's Ricky Craven.
Ricky Craven, the 58 car.
There's Schrader right behind him. It was Craven who got up a little bit high and brushed that outside wall in turn number 4. There's the Dale Earnhardt crew as they look to their driver who's running in 7th position right now at the Pontiac Excitement 400.
$10 for lunch? I heard of a guy got a brand new car for that.
Sounds like a Darrell Waltrip story.
Oh, I swear it's true. This guy was at the track and sees this notice. It says brand new hot rod, $10.
No, it's not a misprint. Stop by and see for yourself.
Turns out her husband met this little gal at the track, and he ran off to Tahiti with her. And he told his wife to sell the car and send him the money. No.
Now, Kmart.
And here's one for all you NASCAR fans from Country 108 WGTY, NASCAR's new country home.
Yeah, we're dedicated NASCAR fans. We make every single race we can. There's the beat of buses, our home away from home. We love to hear those engines scream while we cheer our favorite team. The rooftop chase lounge, dedicated NASCAR fans.
Extreme event that matters. The X Games, June 27th to July 5th, only on ESPN and ESPN2.
Some Many things can happen in just a short period of time here at Richmond. The caution is out once again, and, well, let's pick up some of the things that happened in the last couple of minutes. First of all, Jeff Burton, the leader, fell off the pace.
All of a sudden, he just slowed down. Martin went by, and then Burton comes into the pits.
Changes the right side tires. Whether or not he had a flat, we don't really know. But while he was sitting in the pits making that tire change, the one car hits the wall of turn 4, which brings out the caution flag. John Kernan.
Dale Earnhardt is sitting in the first pit stall here on the pit road entrance. It will be 4 tires. Labonte is in. Let's go to Bill Weber. He's going to get 4 tires. They will make a wedge adjustment. They'll swing around to the left side. The drink bottle is out. Just in front of him is Kyle Petty. Jeff Burton's back in with more problems than Jerry.
Martin in, right side tires on, left side tires. They put the wrench in to make a wedge adjustment and did not make one. Now Martin is down and away. Skinner, 15.3 second stop for Mike Skinner. They have not had a stop over 16 seconds tonight. What a job by this Lowe's crew.
And Skinner acts like he wants to win this race, doesn't he?
He does.
Boy.
And the 99 car came back in the pits. Jeff Burton, we see him sitting in there. He is not, as he leaves, he was not on the lead lap. So what kind of penalty is that, man?
Well, to go to the end of the longest line.
For pitting out of sequence.
Exactly. He was supposed to come in as the other cars are coming in now, those that are 1 or more laps down.
So Burton falls into 28th position now, a lap down to the rest of the field. Caught by the caution that came out as a result of Steve Park hitting the concrete in turn 4, and Park is in.
And we see him looking at the left front on the car. I would imagine some pretty severe damage to that Pennzoil Chevrolet when he backed in the fence and the left front came around and smacked the wall.
And here comes Jeff Burton down pit road once again and back to his stall.
They were looking at the right and rear of this car.
He's going behind the wall.
Going behind the wall.
Wow.
Well, he's led 104 laps, but he's behind the wall now, Bill.
With a very violent vibration. It's either the rear end, the drive shaft, or something in the transmission. He told him, I've got a bad vibration. They thought it might be a tire, but now it's much more serious than that. They're going to jack it up, put it on 4 stands, and see if they can't find the problem. Heartbreak for Jeff Burton,
who is, of course, the points leader in NASCAR Winston Cup competition. Now, this is what caused the caution as Jeff was in the pits originally. On the left side of your screen, there it is.
He just spun around. We heard him talking to his spotter, and he said that he thought he hit an oil slick or something, a slick spot on the track. He said, I don't know what happened. He just went around him.
There we see him put the string on the right side, trying to get the wheels, the front wheels lined up with the rear wheels.
Well, because Jeff Burton has fallen back so far in the standings and will continue to do so as long as his car is behind the wall, Dale Jarrett's going to pick up the points lead here tonight. Jarrett currently in 4th position as the cars line up for a restart. That when we come back.
If you end up using anything but AC Delco parts in your car, who knows where you'll end up? AC Delco. If you're not asking for it, you're asking for it.
You know, I always recommend AC Delco automotive parts to all my customers. They're some of the most dependable you can buy. AC Delco. If you're not asking for it, you're asking for it.
Today we're going to learn the easy way to mow the lawn. This is a lawn. This is a boy. Lawn. Boy. Lawn. Boy. Lawn boy. Easy, huh?
Lawn Boy. Easy to start, easy to use, easy to maintain.
Any questions?
Why are there 2 of you?
One love, one heart. Yeah, now let's get together and feel alright. Feel Jamaica move you. Oh, Jamaica touch you. Oh, now let's get together and
or 1-800-JAMAICA.
We asked a professional race car driver to test our Firehawk SH30 high-performance tires with Unity. Unity, the ultimate tire technology we've spent years perfecting. In fact, when it comes to designing performance tires for wet cornering, we've been around the block. The Firestone Firehawk SH30 with Unity. Get a grip on wet cornering.
Buy 4 Firestone tires with Unity and get a $35 gift certificate from Target stores.
Hardee's All-Star Racing Team Collector's Cup, featuring all 7 members of the Hardee's Racing Team.
Martin's coming in for an unscheduled pit stop.
It holds 44 ounces of your favorite beverage, even if you can't. Get your Collector's Cup now at Hardee's, a proud sponsor of the Roush Racing family.
At Richmond, where Mike Skinner is leading at this facility for the first time in his Winston Cup career and only the second short track race that he has ever led. And the points leaders have really been taking it on the chin here tonight. Of course, Skinner did lead the points for 3 races this year. Now finds himself as the leader of the race. He started back in second, but has been as low as 43rd, so he's gone from the very back to the very front. Moments ago, after the green flag came out, look what happened up front.
Like Mark Martin and Ernie Irvin touched together, and Mark went very high on the racetrack. And look at Rusty Wallace coming into the picture there now. He gets a little bump from Joe Nemechek, but keeps going. Everybody keeps going. No caution. They're all out there running good now. Mark Martin dropped back to 9th. Rusty is in 7th. There's the leader. Here is Dale Earnhardt and Ward Burton battling for the 6th position. Actually, the 5th position.
Right now, Earnhardt has that 5th position. Ward Burton is in 6th place. And right in front of them, Bobby Hamilton still battling with Dale Jarrett. Hamilton has been able to go by Jarrett, take that 3rd spot away.
He did pass him a couple of laps ago. Dale's car will have a new paint job, as many of them do in the Winston. Next week, it'll be a special paint job. And, of course, they sell collectible cars when they do that.
And all of that will benefit the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. So the proceeds will go to a very, very worthy cause.
All these shots, courtesy for Pennzoil Copter Cam, as we see Jarrett trying to get back on the inside of Hamilton again. Couldn't quite do it.
That's a tough place to pass over there now. It's hard to get traction off the turn 2 down on the low side of the racetrack.
Most of these cars now have moved up the racetrack, running that high line, thinking that the low groove might have something to do with the right front tire problems tonight.
On board with Dale Jarrett. Back up front, it is Mike Skinner with a 1 1/3 second lead over Bobby Labonte. And Jerry, we may have a first-time winner here tonight.
Bob, if Mike Skinner holds on and gets his first Winston Cup point victory, and this is 87 starts, you have to give a call to this crew led by Larry McReynolds and David Smith. Their pit stops have been 15.35, 15.51, 15.70, and 15.91 seconds. They have not had a stop even approaching 16 seconds tonight, and that is impressive.
It has, and he's done the job on the racetrack, too. Points are going to shuffle greatly here as long as Jeff Burton is behind the wall, and, of course, Gordon is also having his problems. Dale Jarrett right now is the points leader with Mark Martin up into 4th spot. There is Mark battling with Rusty Wallace for the 7th position. Skinner has gained 4 positions. Tony Stewart has lost 4 right now in the battle.
Okay, we see Mark Martin beginning to work his way back up. He was 9th, and now he's back up to 7th. I don't think it damaged his race car at all. He just had to settle back down and get back in a rhythm.
As we ride along with the Mark Martin Valvoline Ford, you know, MC Anderson was sponsored with his race car back in the early 80s by Valvoline. I drove for MC back in 1979, 1980, and about 9 days ago on a Friday, MC Anderson lost his life down in Savannah, and all of us here at ESPN we're very saddened by the news of that. So, Jan, the family, take care.
He was a great guy.
All right, on board with Rusty Wallace now, and a taste of the race. Our Jimmy Dean Sausage onboard telemetry. Down to about 92 miles an hour, and on the accelerator up to 143 and about 64% of braking.
You'll see Mark Martin on the inside of Ward Burton right in front of Rusty, trying to take that 6th spot away.
Mark's car back on the move again after he had that little skirmish up there and dropped back to 9th place.
We'll go back to Rusty Wallace and check out the 64%. He slows down in the corners to about 91 mile per hour minimum as he accelerates down the front stretch. This will be the fastest part of the racetrack, 148 miles per hour down this D-shaped front stretch at Richmond International Raceway.
And the tachometer up to about 8,300 RPM.
On the back, he'll turn more than that on the front. Now, Dale Jarrett has moved back in front of Bobby Hamilton, takes back over the 3rd spot.
Got a run off of turn 4 the last time around and was able to beat him into turn 1.
Bill has an update on Jeff Burton, who's continuing to lose positions and trailing in the point standings now.
And they have determined it's the rear end gear that went away on the 99 car. The pinion was gone. Buddy Parrott looked at it. The pinion was gone, so they're going to change the rear end gear. They've checked the transmission. They've checked the drive shaft. Right now, they are not scrambling, obviously, to win this race. They are fighting now to try and win a championship in November. They have not stopped since the car went behind the wall. They're changing the gear. Then they'll hopefully put Burton back out on the racetrack, and he'll run for as many points as he can, but they've got a lot of work to do back here. Remember, everything underneath that car is very, very, very high.
Back to 34th position right now, and that means that Dale Jarrett is the current points leader in NASCAR Winston Cup competition. The 98 car, Rick Mast, as we explained earlier, we have a new paint job and a new sponsor on that car. He's also having a doggone good run. He's in 19th.
Trying to take over 18th with Kenny Strader. What's the name of that pipe company was? Hobus?
Hobus, uh-huh.
As they go by Steve Park, trying to get back on the racetrack in the Pennzoil car and make a few more laps. Steve Park down 39 laps behind the leader.
And Tony Stewart is a lap down as a result of getting caught a lap down in the pits. He's in 26th position, still in there battling hard with these cars that are on the lead lap.
Rich Bickle is also on the lead lap, and he is in 14th. But, John, does he have a problem?
Right now, Bob, it's a problem with the power steering for Rich Bickle. He started 42nd, worked all the way up to 14th. He was very loose early in the race. James Dix and Stu Pucci did a great job keeping him calm. They've made minor adjustments every pit stop. The car's pretty good right now, but wouldn't you know it, the gremlins bite. A problem with the power steering is not too bad out on the racetrack. It's a little hard to turn. The main problem is in leaving the pits. If a car is pitted in front of him, he has to really crank the wheel hard to the right to get around him. So Rich Bickle, a good run now despite having a problem with the power steering.
Bill Elliott is right behind Rich.
Bill is in 15th position. Sorry, Bob.
Yep.
He's about 12.4 seconds behind the leader, Mike Skinner. Mike Skinner is just checking out up front.
Well, the interval now has moved up to more than 2 1/4 seconds as Mike Skinner has that much of advantage over Bobby Labonte. Just about 124 laps to go in the Pontiac Excitement 400. We'll be right back.
Eagle One A to Z wheel cleaner removes stubborn brake dust easily. And Eagle One Wet Tire Shine applies a clear high gloss shine instantly.
But why does NASCAR winner Mark Martin use premium Eagle One products exclusively?
When you're in the spotlight, you always want to look your best.
Eagle One A to Z Wheel Cleaner and Eagle One Wet Tire Shine for the perfect finish. Eagle One, are you ready for the attention?
When you come to this year's Triple Crown races, you're bound to hear the same word repeated again and again. Everywhere from the heights of the clubhouse, right on down to the rail. No.
No?
Unless you try to buy your ticket with American Express. Visa, official card of the Visa Triple Crown Challenge. It's everywhere you want to be.
Have you been there? Where water and time find their canvas? Where dreams and flowers bloom? Where beyond each horizon lies another? The land offers an open, eternal invitation to roam, explore, wonder. There are amazing things here and there, which is why we try, in little ways, to protect it. Just something to think about the next time you need fuel.
Gordon is way behind. Stick a fork in Jeff. He's done. Oh, my. What is he thinking? Holy Baloo. What the heck is that?
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Well, what could possess a man to drive like that?
Gotcha.
He's making his move backwards. Gordon wins.
We got to get him a couple.
Ready to spend a weekend with Rusty Wallace?
Hey, Rusty, did you pop the trunk?
It's gonna be a long weekend. If your game piece matches this one, Energizer is sending you to the races with Rusty.
ESPN is back with live coverage of the Pontiac Excitement 400. Tomorrow from Pikes Peak International Raceway near Colorado Springs at 3:30 and Napa 300K for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series is Mike Bliss. Has won the pole position and will lead them to the green. 3:30 tomorrow.
Want to see something good, folks? Tune in at 3:30. You'll see a very good race. As Jimmy Spencer slow down in turn one. Spencer was running in.
There's Jimmy as he slowly circulates now.
Jeff Burton had gone back out on the racetrack, but he's going back in now and going behind the wall again.
And Jimmy Spencer is coming in for a pit stop.
Spencer's one of those drivers on the lead lap.
So now he's going to lose a lap, and there will be 22 on the lead circuit. They're going to change all four tires, John Kernan.
Apparently a tire going down for Jimmy Spencer, and radioed the crew just moments ago said, I need to pit. So they came in, put four tires on the race car. You can see some damage on the left rear of the car. He's reminded it's 4,300 RPM, the speed limit, to go down pit road with a flat tire for Jimmy Spencer.
Also a little bit of damage on the right side of the car. Looks like a donut or two, actually more than two or three of them on the right side there. Well, there's Mike Skinner, who's put about almost 2 seconds now between himself and Bobby Labonte. Quite a night for Mike Skinner so far with 114 laps to go. There's the interval between first and second.
Okay, some of you fans have tuned in a little bit late. He got 2 laps down early in the race when he had a tire problem. He made those 2 laps up, and now pulling away from the field.
And a battle between Mark Martin and Bobby Hamilton for fourth.
And Mark takes it away.
And a good battle here for 9th position as Nemechek has it and Kyle Petty wants it.
And this has been going on for the last 30, 40 laps anyway between these two cars. Kyle Petty's still running that very bottom of the racetrack like he always does.
Well, I understand it was a right front tire on Jimmy Spencer as we watched this battle for the 9th position. Bobby Labonte is beginning to close in now a little bit on Mike Skinner. He's cut it down now to about 1.5 seconds, and he was over 2 seconds behind.
Jeff Burton makes that Ford did go back on the racetrack thinking that the gear was the problem. He went back on the racetrack and discovered the vibration was still there. So now he's back behind the wall once again, trying to figure out where that vibration's coming from.
Now you wonder now, might it be the transmission? Or I guess they probably changed the drive shaft when they changed the rear gearing, or at least they had checked it before.
In any case, Burton is now in 35th position as they continue to work on the car behind the wall. And Mike Skinner looks like he's going to be coming up on some pretty heavy traffic here in the next few laps.
Yeah, and Bobby Labonte is mowing his lead down. It's down to 1.3 seconds now.
There is John Andretti, who led earlier tonight for 24 laps, but was one of those who had a right front go down, sending him into the wall. He currently is where?
He's 41st.
Oh, yeah.
Bob, 118 laps down.
Riding along with the 4th place car now, Mark Martin of Valvoline Ford as he goes by. There's 5th place. Bobby Hamilton right behind the Kodak Film Chevrolet, and he and Earnhardt battling for that 5th spot.
Both Richard Childress cars having good runs here tonight. Skinner leading, Earnhardt 6th. Now 5th.
Here's Rick Mast and Jeremy Mayfield battling for position. That's 16th and 17th. Right behind them is Ricky Craven, who's having a good run, still on the lead lap. Ricky is in 19th position. Terry Devonian, this is Kellogg's Chevrolet number 5, who won here last year, but he is 4 laps behind now in 30th position, not having a good night tonight. Now, he lost those laps on a couple of unscheduled pit stops. He lost 1 lap on the racetrack, but he lost others on unscheduled pit stops, green flag pit stops.
He was one of the ones to discover this tire problem early tonight that forced him to come to the pits and lose the laps early.
Rusty Wallace is closed in behind Ward Burton. That's about for 7th spot. Rusty's trying to take it away. Looks like he will take it away from that Caterpillar Pontiac.
Rusty is 8 8/10 seconds behind the leader.
And we're coming up on the 100 laps to go mark.
And we see that Bobby Labonte is getting closer and closer. He's now down to less than 3/4 of a second behind the leader.
Dallenbach is trying to stay on the lead lap in 21st position. And, oh, they're going to get 3 wide here off the corner, or are they?
Well, they tried to.
While Skinner is trying to work through this traffic, Bobby Labonte is closing in. He's reduced the interval from 1.6 seconds and less than a second. As we look at the AutoZone on-track interval report.
It's less than nothing. He's about to pass him on the outside. I guess, no, it's not.
There's no such thing as less than nothing, but it's gone, that's for sure. Looking back from Wally Dallenbach.
Wally fighting desperately to stay on that lead lap. So is Jeff Bodine, who is right there on the inside. They don't have anywhere to go with those 2 cars running side by side up there, Jeff Bodine and Wally Dallenbach. So the leaders just didn't have anywhere to go there for a moment. Dale Jarrett, he's liking all that because he was about 4.5 seconds behind. Now he's only 2 seconds behind.
They are wheel-to-wheel all the way around the racetrack. Labonte and Skinner. Down to less than 2 seconds now, the interval between second and third. There is Jarrett coming up.
And Bobby Labonte finally gets by Skinner, take the lead.
So Skinner has led 59, but now give the lead to Bobby Labonte, who earlier tonight led 35. But Wally Dallenbach right now staying on the lead lap in 20th position as Labonte goes to the inside and does put him a lap down. More from Richmond after this.
This summer, if you can dream it up, Sonic can put it in a cup. We've got hundreds of drink flavors you can mix and match. Plus, our 44-ounce Route 44 big drinks. Enough choices to let your dreams run wild. Sonic American driving.
Clean is my business. So when I'm on the road, Super 8's my motel. Clean carpets, clean seats, clean. Clean inside and out. Life's great at Super 8.
Some things are obvious from the start. Like, things turn out better when you work together. That's why the UAW International Union and General Motors Corporation got together to create programs to improve skills and safety, to educate, to promote teamwork and build better quality cars and trucks. Assembly line to finish line. Teamwork wins.
Choosing a personal watercraft can be a real test, but Rusty Wallace knows just what he wants. Polaris, when you know what you want. See your local dealer for big savings on select models.
Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires. Now with Pep Boys, all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for only $99, and all 70,000-mile tires 4 for $169.
Pep Boys, cars like us.
People love us.
If you're going to find a dandelion anywhere around here, it's going to be in the neighbor's yard, not mine. Scott's Turf Builder Plus 2 eliminates the weeds. The lawn is very thick and luxurious. Turf Builder Plus 2 is a fantastic product. I love the result. I beat the dandelions.
You beat on people or they beat on you. That's what racing's all about.
Boom. You feel it everywhere. Your shoulder, back, whenever you bump somebody.
You want to be the one doing the bumping.
You call them door dings, but most of the time they're tire marks. If it's on the left side of your car, it means somebody hammered on you all day long.
When you run with the big boys, it shows. The Trade and Paint Series, capturing all the bumps, rubs, and scrapes of racing NASCAR like only Hot Wheels does. Limited quantities while supplies last.
And once you get into somebody, your heart just stops, and all of a sudden it goes again.
I know just how you feel.
Hot Wheels Racing. Feel it.
In the Pontiac Excitement 400, Kyle Petty's crew has kept him in 10th position, but it's been bad news for Jeff Burton. The 31 team is trying to figure out how to win this race. Larry McReynolds has his driver, Mike Skinner, out front. He and Labonte have been trading the lead, but right now Skinner has it again. Jerry has more.
The car Mike Skinner is driving here is the one that carried him to victory lane at Motegi, Japan last November. It's also the same car he qualified fourth and finished fourth with at Las Vegas and was running in the top 3 at California until they had a ductwork problem which cost them on pit road, and they finished in the top 10. It is the best race car they have, and right now it's giving him his best chance at winning his first Winston Cup point event.
Once again, Bobby Labonte mounts a challenge. Skinner's best finish in points-paying events. Third place twice. Watkins Glen last year and the Pepsi 400 at Daytona last year.
Mike Skinner right now is trying to use the car of Ricky Craven to keep that 18 car behind him. He's trying to run the 18 behind the 58, using it as like a pick in basketball. But now Craven comes down and blocks the 31 car. Oh, my goodness.
And they have to go 3 wide down the backstretch. Both of them get around Craven, and Skinner maintains the advantage, but look at Bobby Labonte.
And Skinner got a little loose there.
Yep, slipped a little.
That allowed Bobby to move back in front.
Hardy's field summary, the points battle. Jarrett, the top Ford, running 3rd. There are 3 Fords in the top 10. 4 Chevys in the top 10. And, of course, the Pontiac of Bobby Labonte leads their 3 Pontiacs in the top 10. So good equal distribution.
There's our Circuit City onboard camera. Bobby Labonte, the leader of the race, as he looks back at Mike Skinner at Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse Chevrolet.
There's the view from overhead. The Pennzoil Copter Cam, the 6 and the 88. Battle for 3rd. Martin and Jarrett.
Boy, Martin has had a heck. Where did he go back to when he got bumped up there, Ned?
Went back to 9th position, and now he's just taken over 3rd.
Wow.
Bill has more on Jarrett.
Well, I think Dale Jarrett's run a very impressive race tonight in very patient fashion. Todd Bodine constantly reminding him not to abuse his tires. He's done very good on the long runs, and their tire temperatures aren't nearly as high as some of the other teams. Right now, his car is just a little bit tight. They're going to take a half pound out of the right rear and put 1 round of wedge in it to see what happens. They've got a little over 80 laps to try and catch the 2 front runners.
Just like you taught him, right, Ned?
Yeah, of course.
Speaking of that 80 laps to go, I wonder how many guys can make it. Can anybody make it on fuel or tires, or are they going to have to stop again?
I think they will. I believe they'll all have to stop then.
Okay.
There's Dale Earnhardt in 5th position.
Jeff Gordon and John Andretti coming back down pit road, and Jeff Gordon has made this is the 2nd pit stop he's made in the last 10 laps. He's dropped all the way back to 32nd.
And Jeff Burton rolls out from behind the wall to do battle once again. But, boy, it's been a lousy evening for Jeff. He's 37th, 74 laps down.
Jeremy Mayfield is in the pits. I would guess this would be a scheduled pit stop for him. Maybe a short pitting a little bit, coming in a little certainly before the other leaders. Jeremy just gone a lap down not too long ago.
So he goes back out. 16 cars are on the lead lap. And Bobby Labonte now with about a half-second advantage over Mike Skinner. Stay with us. More live coverage in a moment.
When you need a new driveway or a driveway repaved, call Henson Paving, your local leader in paving. You've ridden on their work, you just might not have known it. Henson Paving can resurface your existing driveway or build one from the dirt up. All driveways are installed with the same care and attention to quality that we give our biggest contract jobs. When you need paving, think Henson Paving. When you need a driveway, there's only one place to call, Henson Paving. Look for us in the white pages. Henson Paving, making things go smoothly for over 30 years.
To inform you that ESPN Classic has been taken over. That's right. May 22nd, ESPN Classic is being run by Billy Crystal, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Spike Lee.
I'm ready.
To see it, call your cable company today.
Okay.
They're calling the shots and picking the shows all day, May 22nd. To see it, you've got to get ESPN Classic. What do you got to do?
Here comes again.
For the best classic sports, call your cable company or satellite provider today.
This is a sport that brings families together. Most of the time, anyway.
You're mine today, buddy. That rooster's crowing a little early this morning, isn't it?
This is a sport where the hearts race every bit as fast as the cars. And this is a sport where some of its biggest fans are some of its smallest. This is NASCAR.
Pit stops are being completed as the caution waves again here at Richmond, this time for the Johnny Benson car, which got up and bumped the wall after possibly a right front going down.
You see the safety vehicle out picking up debris up in turns 1 and 2, where Johnny Benson had the problem with the Cheerios board. We see still sparks under that car. So evidently the flat tire has broken something loose under the car that's dragging.
After the pit stops have been made, Bobby Labonte, Mark Martin, and Dale Jarrett are first, second, and third. Here's what happened. It was up in turn number 2.
And
yes, he really didn't hit it, did he? Kept it away from the wall.
He was very fortunate.
Yep. And here are the top 3 when the pit stops were made. Labonte, Skinner, and Martin.
Jerry Fletcher talked about those great pit stops that Mike Skinner's been making all night, but they were phenomenal. Under 17 seconds, all of them. And this time he came out in 4th position.
Yep, went in 2nd and out 4th. Jerry?
And ironically, guys, they didn't make any changes at all on this final pit stop. They just came in and put 4 tires on the car. And Mike said we really couldn't change anything. He said a little bit loose in, a little tight coming off. So they made no significant change there. Now, Mark Martin had a great pit stop, and they made adjustments on his car. They took some air out of the right rear, had a 1.5 round adjustment of the track bar on the Valvoline board, but his pit stop under 16 seconds. Let's check in with Bill.
This has been a thrilling night to watch pit stops along pit road. Quick stop for Bobby Labonte and Dale Jarrett, although Labonte's was just a tick slower than what we've seen earlier in the evening. No adjustments. Jimmy Makar told him the tires are fine, and you're the best one out there. Dale Jarrett ran 77 green flag laps. They loosened him up a little bit, as we talked about, and we'll see how they do. They've got about 70 laps to go when we go back to green. John?
No adjustments on Dale Earnhardt's car, just 4 tires. In fact, Earnhardt just radioed the crew and said, well, I hope this race goes green the rest of the way, because this car is really good on those long green flag runs. In fact, right there before the caution came out, he was catching the 88 car and the 6 car. He was running just as fast, if not faster, than the lead cars. So they're looking for a green flag racing the rest of the way for Earnhardt. They hope that maybe they can get him a short track victory.
Less than 72 laps to go in this one as Bobby Labonte, Mark Martin, Dale Jarrett, Mike Skinner, and Dale Earnhardt are the top 5.
Today we're going to learn the easy way to mow the lawn. This is a lawn. This is a boy. Lawn. Boy. Lawn. Boy. Lawn boy. Easy, huh?
Lawn boy. Easy to start, easy to use, easy to maintain.
Any questions?
Why are there 2 of you?
I vow to make you invincible, to make your engine sing, to use the strong, tough synthetic oil, the one that has a super breed of molecules to protect you from cold, heat, dirt, the one that'll help keep you from growing old. I will never let you die.
Valvoline SynPower, advanced synthetic technology.
Every Friday, ESPN unveils a new profile in our countdown of the 50 greatest athletes of the century. This week, Big Red. The only thoroughbred to crack 2 minutes in the Derby, he became a legend with his 31-length victory in the Belmont to capture the 1973 Triple Crown. It's a record some say will never be broken. Sports Century's 50 Greatest Athletes, number 35, Secretariat, Friday at 10:30 on ESPN. Presented by General Motors.
Oh, honey.
Missed a great night. We laughed, we cried, watched The Lion King 35 times.
You know what you need? A nice hot breakfast.
Bet I do.
And you better get to McDonald's. Oh, don't forget the hash browns.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
We are training him so well.
Cars have just taken the green flag to resume this race on lap 332. Bobby Labonte getting a lap car between himself and Mark Martin running in second spot. Back in the field, some sparks being shown from, I believe, the 23 car, maybe and the 26 car also.
Yeah, the 26 car has a lot of sparks coming from his car.
When he goes down the corner, you see something on the suspension, and NASCAR will not allow that car. As a matter of fact, they've already posted the 26 to be black flag the next time by.
The report is that the sway bar is broken on the car. Black flag is being shown once again to Johnny. Meanwhile, Dale Jarrett now comes up and mounts a challenge to Mark Martin.
Mark was on the outside of one of the lap cars, and he just simply couldn't go out there too good. And he found an opening down on the inside, so he rushed in there as quick as he could. And here's Rusty Wallace trying to take away position from Dale Earnhardt, and the 4 car of Bobby Hamilton got by Earnhardt since they started the race. So Bobby Hamilton now up to 4th, 5th. And
Mike Skinner crashes in turn 4, and several other cars come together also. Ernie Irvan sitting sideways in the racetrack, and so Mike Skinner's chance of winning is eliminated. Boy, what a great run he had tonight, though.
Kevin LePage has damage. Jimmy Spencer has damage.
See, Mike Skinner was running there in, what, 4th position, and so many cars were behind him. Don't know what happened that caused all of that, but...
And a lot of smoke coming from the LePage car.
Tough breaker.
And there's Ernie Irvan moving around in his car. You see he has the window net down. Ernie's had a tough break tonight.
And we see the heavy damage to the front of the M&M's Pontiac. Let's check a replay and see if we can find out what might have happened at the very top of the screen. There we see Skinner go up and back in the fence. Now Skinner comes off the racetrack. He's going to come down right in front of the traffic. And there we see, we're going to see the 36 car come down and probably make contact with Spencer.
There's how LePage got the damage on his left front. Bill Elliott, however, drove through it, and we'll go right with him. Skinner is in. Here's Jerry.
And a very frustrated and very angry Mike Skinner on pit road. He tried to leave, and the left front tire was not on, and now the tire has been wedged underneath the fender. Did not have the lug nuts on. They get the jacks back beneath the car, and they stop him in his pit box. My, how this race is just falling apart here for Mike Skinner after a great run with 330 laps. Now it's just coming away. Left front damage, left rear damage, the rear end of the car pushed up. Larry McReynolds trying to peel some of the sheet metal away. They were trying to get a tire on, and now Mike sits in the car very, very upset and very frustrated about what happened up there a moment ago.
Ernie Irvan's car is still on the track. They're trying to get it off. Larry McReynolds has won 23 times in NASCAR Winston Cup competition with 6 different drivers: Rudd, Earnhardt, Irvan, Jarrett, and Brett Bodine. Tried to make it number 7 tonight, but he'll try once again. But a great effort from the team and from the driver, Mike Skinner. 338 laps are completed with the caution still waiting over Richmond International Raceway.
Log Day 19. Traveling the circuits of NASCAR.
Darlington, Daytona, Talladega, Charlotte. The drivers, the cars, the action, bumper to bumper, mano-a-mano at speeds of over 200 miles an hour, with us covering every heart-pounding, adrenaline-pumping moment at the incredible speeds of over
35 miles an hour, fast as it goes.
What? It's a good thing they keep going around in circles.
All-Star Racing Team Collector's Cup.
featuring all 7 members of the Hardee's racing team.
Martin's coming in for an unscheduled pit stop.
It holds 44 ounces of your favorite beverage. Even if you can't. Get your collector's cup now at Hardee's, a proud sponsor of the Roush racing family.
We're talking rugged, we're talking fun. You ride the best and the job gets done. Polaris ATVs are made in the USA. We're talking tough.
Buy a new Polaris ATV now, and we'll give you a 2,000-pound worn winch kit. Or choose $250 toward other Polaris accessories. See your Polaris dealer for details.
Polaris ATVs, we're talking tough.
Hi, I'm Jeff Burton with an exciting message for NASCAR fans. Buy any Exide NASCAR Select product and get a Motorola pager free. It's a great way to enter the Exide NASCAR Select 99 sweepstakes. Every month you'll be paged with another chance to win cool prizes. You could even win $50,000 and be an honorary member of the Exide Racing Team pit crew for the first race of the next century. Look for details wherever Exide NASCAR Select is sold.
Oh, wait, man, I gotta find a phone.
You're born, you die. In between, you work on cars. We should all be so lucky.
ESPN's coverage of the Pontiac Excitement 400 from Richmond International Raceway being brought to you by Lawn Boy, making mowing easier. By Valvoline, you can always tell the guys who use Valvoline. And by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR. Hey, race fans, this Bud's for you. We continue to be under caution because of an incident involving Mike Skinner and also Ernie Irvin. Ernie Irvin's car is off the racetrack, but we're staying under caution for a few more laps. We'll take another break and be right back.
You know, my first racing days were pretty rough. With my wheels set so close together, I was always getting loose in the turns. Now that I'm trading paint with the big boys, wider is better.
The White Track Grand Prix delivers precise control in the corners. No wonder it's been selected official pace car of NASCAR.
There's no getting around it. Wider.
Wider is better. Now you can take that to the bank with this winning offer on the White Track Grand Prix. See your local Pontiac dealer for details.
Lawn weeds, huh, Pete? Yeah. Try Ortho Weed Be Gone.
Weed Be what?
Gone, as in out of here.
Like adios.
Weed Be Gone kills weeds without harming your lawn.
Didn't hurt my lawn.
Ortho guarantees it.
Now that's a great lawn.
Lawn weeds? Leave it to Ortho.
There's a moment as I bite into a Wendy's Classic Double with Cheese when everything around me seems to come to a stop. My senses focus on that hot, juicy beef and cool, crisp toppings. For that frozen moment, all seems right in the world. Of course, nothing lasts forever. Then again, I can always come back tomorrow.
Wow, this is nutty.
Hamburger bliss. It comes with every Wendy's Classic hamburger.
Napa application engineered brakes can stop you 20 feet shorter than ordinary brakes. That's important. Because you can't always count on there being 20 extra feet of road when you need it. Napa, over 200,000 parts, and every one's important.
Under green at Richmond, Bobby Labonte has the lead over Mark Martin, Dale Jarrett, Bobby Hamilton, and Rusty Wallace. cars are on the lead lap. Been a tough night for Jeff Burton, who was behind the wall for 75 laps and is now in 37th position in the 4-car. Running in 4th position is smoking, Ned.
Smoke coming from it. Don't know where it's coming from. It doesn't look like we see it on the straightaway. Wonder if he has something rubbing.
I think maybe it looked like the right front tire might have been smoking just a little bit. It might have been the tire just underinflated or something. I don't know, but now I don't see the smoke on the Ford.
I think you're right, Dean. I believe that was... now that the pressure is built up just a little bit. Don't take but a lap or two for that pressure to come. Look at Mark Martin go by Bobby Labonte. Bobby slipped coming off of turn 2, and Mark Martin was right there to take advantage of it.
And so Mark Martin comes back to the front, leading that lap by about a half a car length, but Labonte is not willing to give up this advantage, but now will as Martin goes to the front.
Bobby's car really pushed up, it looked like, coming off of turn 2 over there, and had to get out of the gas, and Mark Martin had a run going. And here's the battle for Dale Earnhardt running in the 6th position. Joe Nemechek wants it, as Bobby Labonte closes back in on Mark Martin.
There they are, the top 3 cars, and they're separated by 0.3 of a second. Martin, Bobby Labonte, and Dale Jarrett. And a crash.
Well,
almost a crash.
Almost a crash.
You guys just don't have any faith in these drivers, that's all.
They missed an awfully good chance to Kurt.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this battle between Earnhardt and Nemechek continues for 6th. A while ago, I told you about Larry McReynolds and his 6 drivers, and only named 5 of them. The 6th one is, of course, Davey Allison.
And Nemechek goes by Earnhardt to take that spot away. And Jarrett on the inside of Labonte takes over 2nd. And now we know we've got one more position in mind.
He hasn't led tonight.
Update on the 3-car. Let's go down to the pits.
Dale Earnhardt just radioed in and said the car's not handling right. Something might be wrong. The car, all of a sudden, the last couple of laps, been very, very loose. Not sure if it's just because the tire temperatures and the pressures haven't built up to where they need to be, because remember, his car was really good at the end of a long run. And now what about his teammate, Mike Skinner? Let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Well, not good news either for Mike Skinner. He is back on the racetrack now, some 9 laps down. Not only the sheet metal damage, but they ruptured the line running from the scavenge to the Oberg filters, and they had to replace that oil line. That's why he came back in and spent another 8 laps in the pits. A tough night, a tough ending for Mike Skinner.
After a great night indeed, a tough ending for Mike. Well, they've settled down now here a little bit with Mark Martin out front.
Yeah, they've run about the same distance apart for the last several laps. Ward Burton running in 9th place. We're told that maybe there's a little smoke coming from the Caterpillar car. Let's see. And that could be another situation, maybe just with tire pressure getting built up, and he's got a little bit of a sheet metal rub.
We see Earnhardt there. Kyle Petty, the Hot Wheels car, has been able to get in front of him and take over 7th. There, see Earnhardt in 8th being chased by Ward Burton.
And Jerry Punch has more on Ward Burton.
Tommy Baldwin says it's a tire rub. That's that little puff of smoke you're seeing out of the Caterpillar Pontiac. Spotter is watching it, as are they on pit road, hoping that maybe when the air pressure does build up, it will go away. But very anxious, considering the fact we have seen some tires go away and some pretty heavy impact tonight.
Ward right now hangs on to 9th, but not too far behind is Rich Bickle, who's running in the 10th position. Up front, it remains the same. Martin, Jarrett, Labonte.
Jarrett's moved in a little bit closer, but you look not too far back behind. We saw him come into the picture there a moment ago, that 4-car Bobby Hamilton. The last time around, he had the fastest lap of any of those drivers, so he is gaining on them. Bobby was tied up in traffic there for a lap or two, and we saw that little bit of smoke there for a moment, but boy, he is coming on now.
And Jarrett's got a good run. Thought he was going to go to the inside.
Well, he looked to the outside for just a moment and then looked at the inside, but neither one worked. And Bobby Labonte now's got to run on Jarrett.
Here's a Hardee's field summary showing you the point changes to this point, with Jarrett now the leader in the series standings. Boy, they really changed here in the second 5. And 11 through 15 changing also. It's been a very strange weekend from yesterday when it was raining and qualifying was postponed and everything pushed into one day, and it has been an interesting race here tonight.
You see that Jarrett was able to hold off Bobby Labonte in the battle for the second position.
There's Jack Roush, who sees his driver Mark Martin in the lead right now with less than 40 laps to go. 362 laps have been completed. Martin, Jarrett, Bobby Labonte, Bobby Hamilton, and Rusty Wallace are the top 5.
What's the deal at Adams County Motors? No pressure, no gimmicks, and the lowest price in town. That's the deal, and that's why people keep coming back to their hometown dealer, Adams County Motors. We're not a mega dealership with a huge overhead, so we can be flexible enough to work with your budget, and that means you'll get the best possible value on a full line of Ford, Lincoln Mercury, and Ford trucks. We've been doing it this way for more than 50 years, and we're not about to change now. Stop by Adams County Motors on Biglerville Road, 1 mile north of the square in Gettysburg.
Instant coffee, instant pudding, instant replay, instantly recognizable name brand merchandise, shoes and athletic footwear from Nike, Adidas, New Balance, Birkenstock, and more, accessories, outerwear, and NASCAR merchandise, and lower prices across the board. Now in our 20th year with the same great selection and service. Visit our permanent location on Carlisle Street in Hanover. Instant replay. Just add water.
Sculptors shape a sport. Another carcass is showcased on canvas. In a nest of film and lamps, a pop star flaps his chops, filled with lyrics and rhyme. The greatest, the greatest, the greatest. We see it.
Sports Center of the Decade, Friday at 7:30 on ESPN. Presented by General Motors.
The NASCAR Winston Cup Pontiac Excitement 400. 366 laps completed. The action on the racetrack being shown you by the Pennzoil Copter Cam. Just 13 cars on the lead lap now. Here are the top 3 running right together, separated by less than half a second. Martin, Jarrett, and Labonte. Jarrett has a notion here on the outside.
Wow, that's a pretty impressive move there.
Dale has not led yet tonight. He needs those 5 bonus points, and looks like he's going to get the lead from Mark Martin. Yes.
Now, Bobby Hamilton had been catching that threesome and then just sort of eased off here the last few laps, staying about the same distance behind him.
So Jarrett now has left a lap, Bob. And I tell you what, can he keep Mark Martin back there?
He becomes the 9th leader of the evening. We've had 19 lead changes.
There's a 4th place car, Bobby Hamilton, as he tries to chase his car down, but he's about a second behind the leader.
30 laps to go. Well, you remember last year, Jarrett was leading, and some contact with Bobby Labonte sent Terry Labonte rather, sent him in front and ultimately to the winner's circle.
And of course, BJ hasn't won this year. Neither has Bobby Labonte. Mark Martin has.
Jarrett's last win came last year at Talladega. That was his 18th career victory.
He's getting off the turn 2 much better than he was earlier this evening.
There's the 4, Bobby Hamilton running 4th.
Hamilton's losing just a little bit of ground to the leader, Dale Jarrett. There's Rusty Wallace. He's our 5th place car. He's about 3.5 seconds behind the leader.
42 of Joe Nemechek. His last finish of 6th or better was at Charlotte a year ago. His last top 5 was at Texas last year. He's currently running in 6th position. Joe Nemechek in the Bell South Chevy.
Al Petty's our 7th place car, the Hot Wheels Pontiac.
Kyle likes the ride on the bottom of the racetrack.
He did it in the first lap, and he's still doing it here in lap 375.
And if they run 1,275 laps, he'll still be on the bottom on that yellow line.
Dale Earnhardt running 8th. And next, as we continue to check out the top 10, here's the 22 aboard Burton.
Nice spot. 40 car, Sterling Marlin is a lap down into 58th, the 12 car, and there's Rich Bickle. He's a 10th place car, the 10-10-345 car. Great run tonight for Rich Bickle, and this is a good first race for James Dance, the crew chief.
Earlier this year, he finished 11th at Martinsville. He had a 12th place finish at Texas, so if he stays in there in the top 10, Bickle will have his best finish of 1999.
Ken Musgrave, the Remington car, is their 11th place car. All these cars on the lead lap. Musgrave is almost 14 seconds behind the leader, Dale Jarrett.
And Ted Musgrave is running in 11th, a couple of cars behind him. Bill Elliott right there is running in the 12th position in the Donald Ford. And Kevin LePage would be the next car on the lead lap. And remember, he got caught up in a wreck, but he's still on the lead lap in 13th position.
Just about 20 laps to go, and this one will come back and wrap things up at Richmond International Raceway.
Robin and I are going to Cooperstown together, and nobody's going to care that I got 98% of the vote and you only got 77.
Yeah, just like nobody's going to care I won more MVP awards, George.
We'll be too busy celebrating with Miller Lite, which tastes great because it's so smooth.
Well, I think it tastes great because of the choice hops.
Are you sure about that, Robin?
Yeah, I'm sure.
98% sure or just 77% sure?
Miller Lite, the great taste of a true Pilsner beer.
That MVP thing's killing you, isn't it?
Yeah. You change your oil every 3,000 miles, right? No, do you? You push it. Now you're so busy you try to squeeze another 1,000 miles out of your oil. Or more. Well, squeeze this. To do it yourself when you have the time. Reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Anybody say insurance? It's been tested. And unlike that lazy uncle nobody really likes to talk about, it works. So go get some. Quaker State. Sensible technology. What more do you need to know?
Mickey D's. Now, who has the rhythm of your morning? Did somebody say McDonald's?
Well, I live out here on a little old farm. I got a pickup, 2 tractors, a mower, and a little old boat. Never start battery in every one of them. One in that old pickup's been in there over 4 years. Starts right up every morning.
EverStart. All the cold cranking power you'll ever need.
No matter if it's 100 degrees or 0 outside. Starts every time.
EverStart. The name says it all.
Everything I got come from Walmart, except my wife and the milk cow. And if they had a place, I'd put a battery on them.
Dale Jarrett has a little more than 3/4 of a second lead on Mark Martin as we wind down the laps here with just 15 more to go. There's Mark Martin running in second and Bobby Labonte in third.
Last time by, Mark Martin was just a tick quicker
than Dale Jarrett, but it might have been a traffic situation. We'll check this time by as the cars go by, and that time they ran the same speed.
Jarrett is going to have some traffic to move through here in the last few laps.
He just drove by Jeff Burton, the Excite Ford, who was the points leader coming into this thing and was leading the race, and all of a sudden slowed abruptly and spent a bunch of laps, about 75 laps in the pits, trying to find a vibration. There's Bobby Labonte, the third-place car.
See there, Jeff, 37th position, 75 laps down.
That time Dale Jarrett was about a half mile per hour quicker than Mark Martin with 12 laps to go.
Last lap, they were about the same again. I think it sort of depends on how they catch traffic.
Jarrett has finished 11th or better in the last 9 races after getting off to the slow start as a result of the crash at Daytona. Now coming up on the 16 car of Kevin LePage, who's running 13th.
Ooh, LePage goes high. Checks the momentum of Dale Jarrett just a little bit. But Jarrett quickly dives to the inside and disposes of LePage.
Dale Jarrett is better than a year ago. He's second in points, was 6th at this time last year. 7 top fives. He had 5 at this time last year, and a much better average finish. He has not been what you would say a headline rider in 1999. He hasn't won, as Ned indicated, just has finished very consistently. At Rockingham, 2nd, then at 11th, 5th, 4th, 2nd, 3rd, 8th, 2nd, 5th.
I think that getting off to that bad start in Daytona has really stopped people talking about Dale Jarrett. But now, if he can just pull this off for another 7 laps or 8 laps, they'll start talking about him on Monday. There's no doubt about that.
And he hasn't led the laps this year that he has the last couple of laps. They've been right there, as you read off there, Bob, in the top 5, but haven't been up there fighting for the lead and leading that many laps.
Coming into this race, he had only led 75, so he's going to go over the 100-lap lead mark tonight. And he has scored more points in the last 6 races than anyone else, including Jeff Burton. He had scored 977 to Jeff Burton's 966 in the last 6 races.
He's opened the lead up to 1.22 seconds. Coming up on some heavy traffic, though, that's going to come into play before this race is over.
We sit 6 laps to go. And right now, Mark Martin is not gaining. He's losing ground to Dale Jarrett. But as Ned said, there is some heavy traffic.
Fortunately, right now for him, that traffic is running in single file, and his car has been working good in that second groove.
Five laps to go. Martin now 1.4 seconds behind as he goes around Mike Skinner, who led 67 laps of this race. Jeff Burton is going to pick up the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps tonight, 104.
Just 4 more laps to go.
Jarrett started this race in 21st position. You can see some traffic up ahead that could be the factor in the outcome of this event. But just 3 more laps around the 3/4-mile racetrack at Richmond.
Brett Bodine moves over nicely out of his way.
Brett Bodine has lost a gear in that Paycheck 40, about 75 laps behind. You see Johnny Benson on the inside. He's several laps down.
Clark cut a little bit off the lead the last time around, down to 107 seconds. You see what it is this time. Now it's back up to 1.17, so DJ picked up a 10th of a second on that last lap.
You'll look at the white flag this time around. Jarrett has only led once in this race. He took the lead on lap 369.
Oh, he's got a couple of cars running side by side right in front of him, Ricky Rudd and Terry Labonte.
One to go. White flag is out. Let's see what happens on the last lap. If Dale Jarrett can win this thing, he's through the second corner okay.
Ricky Rudd just backed off and moved down on the inside of the racetrack.
Now a half a lap to go. Terry Labonte, last year's winner, right in front of him. Well, he's going to do it. Here's the checkered flag. Dale Jarrett wins the Pontiac Excitement 400, his first win since Talladega of last year, 15 races ago, his 19th career win, third on his short track, and it's his second win at Richmond. He won in the fall of 1997, starting 23rd. Tonight, he started 21st and drove to victory lane. We'll talk to him when we come back.
Hey, Ray, those brake pads really did the trick.
Great.
I got a couple more things I need. Do you think you have these?
Thanks. No problem. Hey, Jeff, can you get these for Dan? I'm on it. Hey, Dan, here you go. Anything else?
No, I think this'll do it.
All right, great.
Thanks, guys.
I was fast as Charlotte. Yeah, I know. It's a little slow in that turn at aisle 3.
Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
Ready to spend a weekend with Rusty Wallace?
Hey, Rusty, did you pop the trunk? It's gonna be a long weekend.
If your game piece matches this one, Energizer is sending you to the races with Rusty.
Listen, I've traveled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. I travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Mattawa, Paloma, Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
You know me.
People get into gardening to settle their nerves. I guess I'm a nervous person. We get our plants from local growers. That way they're fresh. That's an ocean of reds and lavenders and pinks and purples. How will that plant bond with it? We want our customers to know that they can come here and find quality. This is a beautiful choice. They're cheery. Home Depot has a 1-year guarantee on their plants. If they die, just bring them back, and we will replace them. You get the price, and you get quality, plus you get the Carol Eddy service.
Back at Richmond International Raceway, getting unbuckled from the Quality Care Ford is Dale Jarrett, having won here tonight in the Pontiac Excitement 400. Takes a swig of Coke, and here he comes out to the applause of the 100,000 people that have gathered here tonight for the 11th race of 1999. Here's our McDonald's winner circle and Jerry Punch.
And Dale Jarrett climbs out, is high-fiving this crew, giving them all handshakes. Todd Paris said, man, this makes up for the one last spring that got away. DJ, hey, Zach fighting his way through to get to his daddy, to give his dad a big hug. DJ, a year ago you led 108 laps and lost one toward the end tonight. You waited to the end to make your move. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, this guy right here just shook my hand, Todd Parrott. What a great race car, and great call there at the end. We were just a little bit off. We weren't good as the 6 or the 18, and they made an adjustment, and that's what did it. And awesome set of Goodyear Eagles there at the end. That was my best set. Thanks to Jason and Brad Parrott for keeping those to the end, and the car was just the best it's been. It was just awesome. I couldn't ask for anything better there those last 50 laps.
It seemed like you were patient all night, almost as if you and Todd knew you were going to have the car to beat all night long.
Well, we knew that we could keep adjusting. We were close, and all we had to do was keep adjusting, making small adjustments. And, you know, not only that, when the 99 had problems, we knew that we had to finish this race, and so we wanted to be careful of what we were doing. So we were taking our time and making those adjustments not to get in any bad positions.
Hey, congratulations. Enjoy this one. A great night.
Thanks. Say hi to Barry Swift, one of our partners here, and that's been in the hospital the last few weeks, is out now. Barry, this one's for you, buddy. Get back soon.
Dale Jarrett celebrates with his family and his crew here in Victory Lane. Bob?
And not only does he win here tonight, but he also is in the points lead. The NASCAR Winston Cup Series by 63 over Jeff Burton. Bobby Labonte is third, Martin fourth, and Jeff Gordon slips to fifth. Wallace, Stewart, Burton, Earnhardt, and Terry Labonte complete the top 10. There are 11 through 20 in the point standings as a result of the Pontiac Excitement 400 here tonight.
To home improvement, there's no better team to work with than Team Lowe's. Lowe's, proud sponsor of Winston Cup Team number 31 and its World Championship pit crew.
Hey, Larry, let me talk to that kitchen guy again.
It's for you.
Let me give you a little driving lesson, okay? Vehicles have changed. They're bigger, they're faster, they're a lot more than just a fashion accessory, okay? And guess what? The way you drive has changed, too. So why are you still using your old motor oil? Doesn't make sense. These are Quaker State synthetics. 4x4, high performance, ultra premium. Made for what you drive, where you drive, the way you drive. They've been tested. For pure maximum protection, there's nothing better. I think it's time for an oil change. Quaker State, sensible technology. What more do you need to know?
We deliver great quality, time after time.
Same with Super 8.
Every room is comfortable. And roomy.
Super 8.
Super 8. Life's great at Super 8.
This summer, if you can zoom it up, Sonic can put it in a cup. We've got hundreds of drink flavors you can mix and match. Plus, our 44-ounce Route 44 big drinks. Enough choices to let your dreams run wild.
They're some of our favorite people. The millions of AutoZone customers who change their own oil. They're the kind of folks who believe that taking care of their car and saving money go hand in hand. And while we admire their willingness to tackle a dirty job, most of all, we thank them for bringing their used oil back to us. After all, used motor oil should be recycled, and that's one job we simply can't do alone.
Crowd now begins to file out of Richmond International Raceway after seeing a great event won by Dale Jarrett. And our overhead shots continue to be supplied by the Pennzoil Copter Cam. In the 3 short track races of 1999, Mark Martin has finished second at Bristol, 5th at Martinsville, and second here again tonight. Here's Bill Weber with him.
Well, Mark, a second place finish for you here tonight. Your thoughts?
Man, I'm proud of Jimmy Finnig and the whole Valvoline Cummins team. We were a contender. We were leading with 50 to go, man. That's all you can do. Gave it our best, but we weren't fast enough to beat Dale Jarrett. Those guys had us covered there at the end, but we were conservative throughout the race. We had a car that could contend to win, and we did. We just wound up a little short.
You think their car got better at the end, Mark, or did yours go away a little bit?
Well, I don't think we were as good as we were sometimes in the race there at the end, and they were certainly the best they'd been. So, you know, we just we let it all hang out there at the end, and we didn't have enough.
See you, Charlie.
See you.
Mark Martin finishes second here tonight. Bobby Labonte was third, Bobby Hamilton fourth, and Rusty Wallace came home fifth. Well, Sports Center is coming up at the top of the hour. That will be at 11 o'clock Eastern Time, but we have more from Richmond International Raceway for the next 10 or so minutes, talking with drivers and discussing the race completed here this evening. Back in a moment.
$10 for lunch? I heard of a guy got a brand new car for that.
Sounds like a Darrell Waltrip story.
Oh, I swear it's true. This guy was at the track and sees this notice. His brand new hot rod, $10.
No, it's not a misprint. Stop by and see for yourself.
Turns out her husband met this little gal at the track, and he ran off to Tahiti with her. And he told his wife to sell the car and send him the money.
No.
Now, Kmart.
Listen here, baby. I have only one burning desire. Let me stand next to your fire.
Now you can get $1,500 cash back or 2.9% APR financing on a new 99 Sunfire Coupe or Sedan. A hot set of wheels with money left to burn. Sunfire. See it at your Pontiac dealer today.
Spirit Sports Center.
So Charlie says you're maybe the 50th best heavyweight.
In the world?
In Georgia.
But when there are differences, we keep it in the family.
So Carl started drinking a little bit. And then he was going on and on about he and Mrs. Met. I mean, nasty stuff. Nasty.
And keeping it in the family has made our family stronger.
Charlie, come on out and get your whooping. Charlie, come on out. Stand.
ESPN's coverage of the Pontiac Excitement 400 from Richmond International Raceway being brought to you by the Wide Track Grand Prix by Pontiac. Wider is better. By Jimmy Dean, America's favorite sausage and sponsor of the number 30 Jimmy Dean Pontiac. And by Red Wing Shoes. For the dealer nearest you, call 1-800-359-BOOT. John Kernan is with Rich Bickle, who came home 10th.
And that's a big deal because it's his car owner, Tim Beverly's first top 10 finish in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Rich, a great run, even though a problem with the power steering.
Well, we kind of seemed like we had a lot of problems there. I thought I had a great qualifying lap, and it was absolutely the slowest lap of turn 3 in here, so we had to start way in the back. But this goes to show you how good a team we got. The Tim has really spent a lot of time, put a lot of effort in. This one's for him, his first top 10, and he spent a lot of money putting this deal together. And I'd like to congratulate the 10, 10, 3, 4, 5 people. I mean, Pontiac, James Ince for coming on board, new crew chief, and it just goes to show you how good this team can be. You know, we got great pit stops, we got great motors, and we got great cars. And you know, coming from the back there, just up to the front was the biggest thing. Was I never got to the guys because the lap traffic, you know, got us pushed back. But we'll definitely take it. You know, we've been pretty sporty here the last 4 or 5 races, and you know, we got 4 top 15 so far, and then pretty happy with that. But pretty excited for 10, 10, 3, 4, 5 people.
They started 42nd, made up 32 spots, finished 10th. The Dr. Jerry Punch.
Bobby Hamilton able to smile. You told us in half the hour you knew the car was going to be good today, and indeed it was. Congratulations on a great run.
Appreciate it. I just got to, you know, these guys done an excellent job on our pit stops. They've been practicing their hearts out and come out of the pits, had good track position all night. They actually gained me some, you know, and that's what makes winning race teams, you know. But, you know, we had fell back to 20th in points this year. We needed a top 5 finish. We needed a top 10 finish, and to come away with a top 5 finish is a real good deal for a little Kodak Monte Carlo.
How'd you dodge the tire problems? You had any problems at all night long?
Well, you know, they didn't tell me anybody's having tire problems. They told me to get your air pressure up on the cautions real good and don't abuse them at the first couple laps. So I just ride the first couple laps and let the air get up on them. You know, Goodyear tells us you tear these tires up on the start of them. That's where you tear them up at. It don't take laps to do it. You tear the inside of them up on the starts, and we just don't get real aggressive with air pressure.
Hey, congratulations. Go enjoy it.
Thank you, bud. Thanks.
Bobby Hamilton, a Kodak moment, finishing 4th at Richmond.
And it's his first top 5 of 1999. Prior to tonight, his best finish was 7th at Darlington. Dale Jarrett enjoying the spoils of victory in the winner's circle as he has won tonight's Pontiac Excitement 400. We have more before Sports Center at the top of the hour. Stay with us. We'll be right back to Richmond International Raceway.
You know, my first racing days were pretty rough. With my wheels set so close together, I was always getting loose in the turns. Now that I'm trading paint with the big boys, wider is better.
The White Track Grand Prix delivers precise control of the corners. No wonder it's been selected official pace car of NASCAR.
There's no getting around it. Wider.
Wider is better. Now you can take that to the bank with this winning offer on the White Track Grand Prix. See your local Pontiac dealer for details.
Why don't you keep this? That we did bowl at one time. Dave's lucky to have this. Hey, anyone need a third ticket? All right. What you got, bud? Sorry, guys. I'm keeping my Red Wings. What size do you wear? 9.5.
Hey, Buckman. Follow us. Come on.
Like I'm gonna fall for that old trick.
Not so good.
All 4 barricades, huh?
It knows 2 speeds. Stop and go. It just beat a series of the toughest stop-and-go driving tests in the world. It's brand new. Go ahead. Guess. You have 4.3 seconds. Introducing Pennzoil with new Pure Base. Stop. Go. Pennzoil.
Back here at Richmond, and yes, you are absolutely correct. Sports Center is coming up next in just a few moments. As we conclude our coverage here at Richmond, let's talk with our third-place finisher, Bill Weber.
First on that restart, then walk us through what happened after that final restart.
Well, we took off and run about 3 laps there and come off turn 2, and the thing just jumped sideways. And, man, I had to collect a lot of ground back there and not hit the wall, and Mark got by just instantly, and then the 88 kind of got me. Car just didn't quite stick as good after the restart. Seemed like on the get-go on new tires it was better, and then when we had that yellow and the tires sat there for a little bit and tried to worm them in, but it just didn't go as good. And just, you know, sometimes that happens. I've seen that happen before, and it just seemed like that was the time it was the worst it was all night.
Okay, good third-place finish for Bobby Labonte. To John with Joe Nemechek.
And a good sixth-place finish for Joe Nemechek. Joe came out of, what, 23rd starting spot? A good run for you.
Oh, absolutely. Can't say enough about this whole Bell South Chevy team. These guys have worked real hard. We kind of struggled the whole time we've been here. Didn't qualify that well. Right at the end of practice, we tried a couple things, and car took off. And I told them, I said, boys, we got it right. And it's just good. We needed long runs. We were really good on long runs. We could make up a lot of ground, and we didn't have that many. So I'm just fortunate. That was a big accomplishment for us.
Sixth place for Joe Nemechek upstairs.
Take a look now at the final results. The yellow arrows will indicate the drivers who led. The double arrows that will be coming on in a while belong to Jeff Burton, who led the most laps. As you take a look at the final results, we want to say goodbye and good luck to a member of our family here for the past few years, who also worked some of the NFL games for ESPN. Bobby Carter has been a faithful employee and helps us out in the audio portion of the broadcast. He is taking off, going on to bigger and better things, starting his own business. And Bobby Carter, good luck to you in the future. Here are the points now. As the 11th race has been completed, Dale Jarrett is in the points lead by 63 over Jeff Burton. And boy, I tell you, tonight, the points changed greatly as a result of the things that happened in the race.
Picked up a pretty good bonus as a result of becoming the points leader and winning. About $60,000, I believe, from Winston.
Well, tomorrow there's more racing for you on ESPN. It'll be at 3:30 in the afternoon. The Napa 300K from Pikes Peak International Raceway near Colorado Springs. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Drivers will be going at it, led by Mike Bliss, who has won the pole for that race at 3:30 tomorrow. Once again, Sports Center is coming up here in just a few moments. The celebration continues in Victory Lane as Dale Jarrett has driven to victory.
Tomorrow will be the second truck race I've missed in 1999, and my mind will be in Pikes Peak about 3:30. Wonder what those guys are doing out there.
And again, we want to say get well to Rick Corelli, who continues to be hospitalized as a result of the crash last weekend in Memphis.
Certainly wish him the best. Victory Lane ceremony is still going on here at Richmond. Robert Yates there on the right of your screen. Big smile on his face.
Well, certainly the championship now wide open as it has been all year, but with the win by Dale Jarrett, he has reestablished himself as a real contender for the championship. Well, the race began before the sunset here in Richmond, and there were a lot of concerned faces because of the lack of practice time at night and the fact that everything was squeezed into the day. And for some of the drivers, it did not go well. There were problems with right fronts here tonight. Rusty Wallace was among those getting into the wall, but we also saw some great racing, as we always do here at Richmond. The 99 car of Jeff Burton, the points leader going in, had problems, lost the points lead. Mike Skinner, a tremendous run. However, he also had problems and did not finish well, finishing back in 30th position. Mark Martin had a good run, as his car owner Jack Rouse saw, but the guy who came home winning was Dale Jarrett as he wins here at Richmond. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.